Yeah.
What's going on, everybody?
You're
¿Qué onda, mi gente? Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It No Cap
Mm-hmm.
with my co-host, KHINO G, the beautiful KEKE, and my boy, RAFAEL.
back.
Today is going to be a very interesting episode. So, tune in, share the video, compartan el video. Este episodio va a ser muy interesante, muy educativo también. I did my research, so then my people did their research. I got it open right here too. So we're gonna definitely talk about it. Let's see if I could share my screen. Please let me share. Oh, it doesn't let me share it.
We're gonna find a different way.
This is a cancellation worthy episode. Get ready to get canceled, bro.
Nobody's gonna cancel me, okay? I don't have
Uh, hey, that's why I'm wearing my mask. You know what I'm saying? Nobody knows who I am.
this guy.
Yeah, Shakira is stupid, yo. Yo, what's going on? Compartan el video. Everybody, right now, take the time to share the video. Compartan el video, mi gente. Buenas noches, buenas tardes. Konnichiwa. Así se dice, ¿no, Shakino?
Is it konnichiwa?
Konnichiwa. Shit, man.
Bom dia.
Yeah, I just said my brother's real name online.
Damn,
You
yo.
definitely did.
Somebody's about to pull up on me. Somebody's about to pull up on me.
You definitely did. You definitely did.
Yeah, that's my bad, bro.
Air me out, yo.
Yo,
All right. All right.
I think for Rafael, I'm gonna give him a nickname. I'm gonna call him Ralph.
Yeah,
Wreck-It
call me
Ralph.
Ralph,
Wreck-It
Ralph,
Ralph.
whatever, bro.
He said, nah, you heard what Rap said. He said he's 10 toes down on this shit. You heard it? You heard it? He said, you gotta change my motherfucking name. You heard?
Aquí vamos a hablar de un tema. We're gonna talk about a topic that most people are afraid to speak about. Vamos a hablar de un tema que mucha gente tiene miedo de hablar. Nosotros lo vamos a hablar esta noche. We're gonna talk about it. No cap. This is a cancellation worthy episode. I hope I don't get canceled, but it's nothing disrespectful. We're just gonna talk facts.
Nah, you can't cancel us, bro.
So here we go. Let's start with the question. That's a suspense.
I'm like, that
Compartan el video. Share the video, mi gente. Okay, here we go. Question. Do you think that Estrella Albarro, transgender women, should be able to participate in regular, women's sports? And what do I mean by regular? I mean by biological women that were born like that. That's what I mean by regular women. So let's start with Rafael. What are your thoughts?
My thought on this subject is a stern hell no. Stern hell no. I don't think that women or transgender women should participate in any kind of sport against a biological woman because there's just natural advantages that they have. At the end of the day, my view on it and science's view on it and biology's view on it is transgender women are biological men. No matter, whichever way you put it, what you identify as, what are your pronouns, transgender woman is always going to be a man. So for me, it's a stern fucking no. Stern no.
Okay, that's legit. I like that. Yo, KHINO G, what about you?
Well, picking back up and how you say it? Basically what my bro saying, honestly, like I feel like it's a unfair advantage to women that are, have been with women for since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's an unfair advantage. Like for example, that's why they boycotted the Olympics. Like racing. Apparently,
Track runners.
the transgender is gonna be faster than a regular woman, or even in fighting, like gonna be stronger than a regular woman. So it's a very unfair.
Oh, she looked like she got a particular stance on this bullshit.
Yeah, I do.
Respectfully speaking.
Wait, I want to make sure.
Go ahead.
Miss KEKE.
Being that, I mean, I have friends and acquaintances that are transgender, and I mean, like I told Shakira yesterday, they're not going out trying to run for the Olympics. They're just not. They just want to be pretty and in the cut and do what they do. But I think I have there's two viewpoints I have. I'm like devil's advocate. One point is, has any studies been done where, because they do undergo, like they take hormones. So because they're taking these hormones and they've been taking it for a while, I'm not talking about somebody's taking hormones for a year and now they're like, yeah, I want to go for women's sports. Because we got to be careful with that too. You don't know if they're just doing it so they can. I saw this article where this guy was on a swimming team. As a regular swimmer, he was like number like 250. But then he claimed he was transgender. Uh, I don't know if he was taking hormones, but then like maybe a couple years later, he's like number one on the swimming team, but the women's swimming team. So
Breaking
now,
records and shit.
are you using it as an advantage to get your name out there, or are you truly like transgender? You know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, biologically, yes. Okay, biologically, yes. But I don't know if there's been studies done where after they take hormones for X amount of years, boom, hey, damn it. Sorry, my dog. Where it's like 5 to 10 years they're taking hormones, that there's studies done that they actually are at the same advantage as a cis woman. I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know.
that's what they be
So that's
calling regular women now, right? Cis woman.
Yeah, cis woman.
So
That's the
woman,
term.
yeah, that's the term. If you're born biologically a woman, a cis woman, and there's transgender woman. Now, I don't agree that you are not. I do not agree at all that you are still a man, because, baby, some of my people, they look better than women.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean? So you think that
They look better
you're
than cis women.
saying that if a biological man takes enough hormones, then they do the transitioning, throw on a wig, makeup, dress,
Or grow
whatever
their
the
hair
fuck.
out. They grow their hair out. A lot of them grow their hair out.
Well, sure, they grow their hair out, and then you think that person is no longer declared a man?
No, especially if they do the sex change. No. Now, don't get me wrong. Some transgender like
Why
to play
not?
with their wand. They still like to have the wand. They still like
What?
to sword fight.
So I guess we have to define, I guess, what a woman is and a man is at that point, right? What's
I
your
think that's
definition of a man?
um, my definition of
Is
a man.
Yeah, is
Is,
it just like physical, visual features, or is
yes.
it?
For me, it's
So that's
physical.
it.
Because I know men and they bitches. So
But that's not
you
the
could be
majority of
you
men
could
on the
look like a
planet,
nigga, but
right?
you still move like a bitch. I know plenty of those.
Yeah, but we're talking about the general consensus, right? Like most men on Earth look like men, operate like
Yes.
men,
Yes.
and
Yes.
that's like a small percentage of men that look
Yes.
like
But
bitches.
on a
We
regular
could all
on
agree we know
paper,
some of those.
if I saw you in the street, I'm looking at a man with a beard, the stature, a beard, the stature, the voice, the smell, the testosterone. I pick things up and I put them down. Like,
Yes.
yes, that's a man to me.
Okay. So it's only physical, like visual for you.
It's only physical.
That's it.
Yeah, but I see you talking to somebody who's very, very fluid. I'm fluid, so I would
Okay.
definitely have sex with a transgender woman who still likes to
Um,
use the wand.
you
You
do
know,
whatever the hell you want to do.
but I don't think I could. I don't think I'm attracted to, like, if you're like a transgender man, meaning like on the top you're a man and then on the bottom it's still hoo ha. I don't know if I can do that.
So you mean like before they're actually get the gender reassignment surgery, like a
Yeah,
woman who becomes a man but still has a vagina?
yes, because not all transgender people get reassignments. I just
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
put that out there.
yeah. And that was one
Uh,
of the points that I wanted to touch on here. But I guess what would you guys define as a man as well? Like, what's your definition of a man? Is it like her visual, or is it more than that? Is it deeper than that? Is it biological?
A nigga like us, bro. Unfortunately, unfortunately, bro. Like, just think about like for kids,
Yo,
for
his one
example.
liner.
It's true.
For kids, kids. Unfortunately, like I don't really. It's really hard to say. It's a very sensitive topic, but I don't agree with like how certain kids are being raised in that aspect of, like, for example, like it's causing. I feel like it's gonna cause confusion to certain kids. You know, you're in the house and your parent got breasts, but then at the same time down there, they have a penis. So it's
But I
like,
don't
Yeah.
think they know that yet. I don't think they know that until they're like actual of age and they can understand. Because to them, they're growing up and they just see there's mom and there's dad, unless there's a conversation about it. Like, I wasn't born
so
naturally a woman or I wasn't born
do
naturally a
you
man.
do you agree with what Target was trying to do with the children's clothing, having like a onesie bathing suit with the pocket for a penis?
Pocket full of penis.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Target literally a few months ago was selling clothing for children
Mm.
with like a bathing suit, the little onesies that females wear, but this special bathing suit had like the pocket for a penis, like the
So
bulge
yeah.
area for a penis.
Yep. Like the way boxers
Literally
are,
a few
how
months
they have
ago.
like that
And a lot of people boycotted
cuffing.
that, and then Target took it off the line.
Well, yeah, because I'm
Hmm.
see that's where I draw the line. It's children. They're not.
Exactly.
You don't know what you are until a certain age. Now, don't get me wrong. You might feel a certain way, before you're 15 or 16. I get it, but like you need to like really explore who you are and then decide that. And I would rather you decide that when you're way older. I'm not gonna be like, oh, my kid feels like a girl, feels like a girl. Let me do this. Let me do this. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let them find themselves.
So
So
But living in a household like that, isn't that already causing
I mean, but that's the reality we
some
live
type
in.
of
I guess for me, it's like that's the reality we live in. Like,
and I have
but
something to say to add to that to that part that Yaya said.
mhm.
Uh, this is what's his name? This basketball player.
mm-hmm.
He's retired now.
D
Who?
Wade,
Do wait, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, D Wade, yeah,
yeah, Dwayne
with
Wade.
his son, right? Son. Well,
Hmm.
it's a daughter
It
now, right?
the
yeah,
it's
daughter
his
now.
daughter now,
yeah.
yeah, but
It's his daughter now. So like that topic right there, it's almost to like what we were just mentioning, where like when the kid is old enough to make the decision on its his or her own, then they should do that. But like, at what age do you think is a proper age for a kid to decide? Okay, I feel like I'm a girl or I feel like I'm a boy, therefore I want to start dressing or moving like a girl. At what age do you
18.
feel?
I say 16, 17.
I say 18. Honestly, to be completely honest, right? It could be even higher than that. It's all dependent because everyone
It's different.
develops and
Yeah.
matures at a different age, right? Like I didn't feel like I was completely mature till maybe mid 20s. Doesn't mean like I don't know about life and shit like that, but
At 30.
there's maturity levels, right? But when it comes to that, I I I feel like that is such a crucial. So there's studies of people who have like transitioned very early in life
Yeah.
and lived
Yeah.
their whole life to be, 50, 60 years old and come back at the end of the day and say, I regret that someone allowed me at that age to go through this transition because now I can't go back. There's no reversing it. You're completely stuck, right? So if as a kid, as a 16-year-old who doesn't even know what the fuck they want to eat in 3 hours, I can completely change my biology. And then 5, 10 years from now, completely regret it, have no, fucking ability to create a relationship with someone. I think it's really important to let people kind of
Find
live out their
themselves.
experiences. Yeah, but I think the gender reassignment surgery should be last
Yeah,
resort.
I agree with that. Because one thing, I mean, it's a small
I
percentage,
agree.
but at the same time, it's when you get the gender reassignment that it's hard to go back. You
Yeah,
know, um,
and they're trying
you,
to push it even earlier now. That's my problem. That's my biggest issue with it.
yeah, some states
That's
are trying to, are now, you can get in trouble as a parent if your kid comes to you at 12 and says, hey, I feel like a woman or I feel like a boy, and you don't
And you
do anything
deny them.
about it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Bro,
So,
I
listen,
saw a
from,
story where
yeah.
this woman took her husband to court.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think their kid was maybe 4 or 5 years old. It was a boy. The mom would purposely dress him up as a girl, buy him dresses, everything
exactly
pink,
purposely.
right?
But
and
see, that's
and
wrong because
groom.
you're
eh,
imposing that on.
That is wrong, right? But she's using the excuse of, no, he's telling me he wants to be a girl. With the mom, that's what he would say. But then the dad, in court would say no. When he's with me, he tells me that he doesn't like this thing that mommy got going on. He wants to be a
Wow.
boy, but he doesn't want to make her feel bad, right? So
Yeah, that
now
sounds about
it's
right.
you're taking a person's word. But at the end of the day, they took him to court and stripped him of
Custody.
of his rights of custody for his child, and they gave the boy to the mom, and then he had to fight in court to gain back custody
That's
because she was
bad.
trying to do gender reassignment at fucking 6 years old.
Yeah, that's too
At
Damn,
early.
6 years old,
that's mad early, bro.
that's
That's too early.
ridiculous, bro.
I feel like it's all about how they see what they see and how they being raised. What's their environment like? For example, I
Yeah,
was in South Carolina. I was in a restaurant. Kid you not, the kid was probably 9 years old,
yeah.
and his outfit was just straight like a female's outfit. And then I look around. I looked around who like his family members
Hmm.
were, and you know, I believe his parent was like a dyke, and then like the family was just about that life.
They were
Yeah.
So
different.
like, okay, I understand why the kid is probably dressing like that,
Hmm.
but at a young age, and I was like, that's kind of unfair for him, but that's just what he
But
lives
maybe
with,
he at
and
Yeah.
they
9 years,
influence.
maybe he wants to wear a skirt, and his family's just open minded to it. Because you gotta, because you are from a family like that, it's sometimes a little bit easier to express yourself the way you want to. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that if you're around two parents who are of LGBTQIA or even allies, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very open minded. God, I have my daughter, but what if she wakes up? What if I'm open minded? She might say, "Hey, I like the gene. Hey, mom, I don't like having breasts. I want to be a boy." I would have to just like, okay, well, what makes you feel that way? But I'm open to whatever gets hit, whatever I'm hit with, because it's a possibility. And none of my family is outright, expressive like that. You know what I'm saying? Like my little brother is gay, but when you look at him, you wouldn't know he's gay. He's
Yeah.
not he's not flamboyant at all.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like at all. So it's just like, I don't know. I just know I'm not doing no reassignment at no six under 7 6. I say 17. I'm not going to do it under. I say 16 because that's the age of consent. But I'm
Okay.
not doing it before. I'm definitely not doing it when they're
Oh,
like 5, 10, 12. No, 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 no.
okay. I
Before we
guess.
before we move on, real quick, because you say you had a daughter, and how old is your daughter, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, she's 9 months. She's a baby.
Oh, she's a baby. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So even worse, right? She's gotta grow up in this world where reality is being worked, right? So you told me, or you said earlier, that for you, you define a man straight off visuals, right? If they look like a man. How do you feel if in 6 7 years
Mm-hmm.
you're taking your daughter to the bathroom and a man dressed as a woman, appears to be a woman, but is clearly a man, walks into the bathroom and
Yeah.
claims that they are transgender, claims that they're going through reassignment surgery or whatever, right?
Mhm.
But he
What's
still whips it
your
out in front of
ideal
your daughter.
on that? Yeah,
I
like
mean, I
what's
don't.
your belief in that?
I mean, I'm also in the medical field, right? So I don't
Mm,
really like. It's not a big deal to me. I'm gonna be in the bathroom with my daughter, because
yeah,
women molest women,
yeah,
men
yeah.
molest kids. Anybody can molest, so,
Mm,
or rape or any of that, and
mm,
nobody is excluded from that. But
yeah.
I mean, if that's what if you're walking now, granted, there's some transgender people who was looking, they haven't really got to the other side.
Okay.
They still have male, a lot of male attributes.
Mm,
But for me, I don't think I would be like, get out. I think it'd be like, all right, I'm going with my baby, and I would explain to her, like, listen, there's transgender people in the bathroom, and whether it's a man or a woman or it's a unisex bathroom, I'm gonna always come with you to the bathroom because I don't trust nobody in this motherfucking world.
yeah. But do you feel regular comfortability or do you feel a little more uncomfortable now that there's
Uh,
an
no,
actual physical man in the bathroom? That doesn't bother you at all?
no, it doesn't.
Okay. That
I
shit would
mean,
bother me.
it
Fuck
doesn't,
that.
it doesn't because like it just doesn't. It's just like I
No.
have a lot of LGBTQIA people around me, so it's like
Yeah.
It actually, sorry guys, don't mean to cut you off, but
yes,
I have an experience when it comes to that. I think I went to the movies one time with my family, right? And I went to use
yeah,
the restroom. As I was washing my hands, like I noticed like a woman. So I'm like in my head for a second,
You
I'm
thought you
like,
were in the wrong bathroom.
yes. I had to double check.
yeah.
'Cause I was like, holy shit! That I came into the women's bathroom. I was like, but I was like, I'm sure I saw the male sign
The
outside.
emblem, yeah,
Yeah,
the sign.
Yeah.
so I'm like, so I had to, me, yo soy Latino, yo soy Hondureño, yo soy Garifuna, right?
Mm.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do the double knot. I'm like, because it's like it was bizarre. I've never in my
Yeah.
life experienced that, and
Yeah,
that it didn't make me feel uncomfortable in the sense that I minded that person was in there, but it made me feel uncomfortable in the sense that I thought that I was doing something wrong because
in
I
there.
was in their space. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It
Meaning
was a
like
transgendered woman or was it a transgendered man?
I don't know. I don't
Did he
know.
Well,
look like a man?
That looked pretty much like a woman, like very woman like.
Well, maybe there probably are some transgender women who don't feel comfortable going into the women's bathroom because they just don't. You know, it's really like
yeah.
it can be a weird place for everybody because you just don't know where you fit.
Yeah.
So should there
Now,
be transgender bathrooms?
You know what's
I
crazy?
wouldn't. That's why they're coming up with the unisex. So now they're having male,
Yeah.
woman, and unisex.
Yeah.
Right.
I
You know
s-
something? I traveled, I went overseas, and when I believe it was like Japan,
Bangkok.
that there's places
Tyler.
overseas that people, men and women, use the same bathroom, bro. It's
Yes,
just the
unisex.
United States that this shit is just like pff, to everybody.
I
Out there,
agree.
Mm.
people find it normal.
I agree.
People find it
Really?
normal out
I mean, we grew up in Honduras, bro. You know that we never saw that shit in Honduras.
No,
Like
you just go
like
where you
Yeah.
go. A bathroom is a
like
bathroom is a bathroom.
yeah, like it's not.
When you go to Hispanic spots, when you go to Hindu spots out here, ain't no man and woman. It's one bathroom.
Yeah, that is true. That is like back like in Honduras. A lot of times there wasn't no emblem in the bathrooms. A lot of times you got un baño con lata covering.
I'm not sure why that's such an American thing. That's a good thing to research.
Check it
They're a
out what I'm
lata.
talking
I'm
about.
from
You check it
lata.
out those type of bathrooms that they just like with a little piece of wood.
Mhm.
there. Facts,
Or
facts,
sometimes
facts.
you got an outhouse. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but there's not 15 people in an outhouse at once.
True.
Nah, you right.
I think that's
Uh,
the thing. Like American bathrooms, I've never been to these other countries, so I can't really
Yeah,
speak on that.
right.
But there's so many people in one
It was crazy.
area, right? So and then there's two genders, so you need to differentiate. Then there's children that you got to worry about, and it's just like this. My only issue is that I feel like the minority are gonna mess it up for the majority, right? I don't believe most transgender people are out there. Men are dressing up like women to get a peek at women, right? The majority, I don't believe that's a thing. But there are people using that excuse for some reason, right? For some sort of agenda, like the sports thing, right? Men who are not even top 200 in male classified sports go to women's sports and then they become fucking top 3 in the world, breaking records left and right. So it's like now you're taking away from women who are working their ass off their whole life
Hmm.
to get these accomplishments in sports, and you
Yeah.
got men who aren't even worth anything in the male division
Yeah.
sweeping the rug from under their feet. So I think that's a little crazy. Um, and it's gonna bleed into everything else, like
okay,
kids, like it's already
gu-
doing that.
guys, real quick. I have a comment. I have a pretty good comment. Somebody commented already. Okay, here we
What
go.
we got?
Growing up in the gay community wasn't a big deal, but now it is invading our children. There are two dads on. Oh my god, there are two dads in Cocomelon, and I cannot explain that shit to my kid. I told them they were friends because I'm not ready. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh wow, that's crazy.
I
And
Yeah.
mean,
they
you can, but you know,
okay.
Spartacus in 1300 BC, they was fucking niggas.
Oh
It's
my
Yeah,
fucking
but
niggas been fucking niggas and bitches been fucking bitches
Yo,
since
like that
Spartacus
show
time.
Spartacus, like the show Spartacus.
I said since Spartacus time. It's like them they was going in, you know?
yeah,
So
but that's not a show for kids. That's a show for adults. You know, like
it's not,
mhm.
but I think that's just like if you were in the city, if you were in Manhattan, you're going to see a lot of women and women. You're going to see a lot of man on man dropping their kids off. Like that is just the reality of our world. People are more open about it. They're not living in secret about it. They were always fucking gay, and they was always liking twat. They was always liking dick. They always did. It's just that we as a society have become more accepting of it. But the
Mhm.
shit was happening.
But I
yeah,
think that that's normal now, right? In today's thing. But the transgender thing is like a different. It's like a different branch on the tree. Like we've accepted gay and lesbian. That's pretty much whatever at this point. The
Yeah.
transgender thing, I think the biggest issue there is like perception of reality now, because now education is changing, right?
Mhm.
What's a man? What's a woman? What classifies these things? Like you think it's just visual. Most people think it's biological, right?
I mean, it is
When it comes to
biological. It is
Mhm.
biological too because you have a schlong. I don't have a schlong, and I'm a woman,
even if
right?
I didn't, even if I didn't, right? Like me as a man, right? If
Yeah.
I cut my dick off, regardless, I'm
Yeah.
still a man. I would
Yes, you
never,
are.
right? I would never. But I'm still a man at the end of the
Yes, you
day.
are.
And I think if you're a man and you get gender reassignment surgery, it's the same shit. I think at the end of the day, you're a man and you want to live your life out as a woman, that's completely okay with you. But to bend the rules of reality and tell kids that you can be whatever you want to be and whatever you feel like, it's
But
just
how about when
crazy.
those hormones come into play though? When you take
I
them
oh
don't
into
think
account, you
hormones
reduce the
do much of
testosterone,
anything.
boost up the
You could
estrogen.
reduce your testosterone, but
But
I don't
hormones
think
do
it's gonna.
after a while. I mean, you gotta stay on them for a lifetime. But hormones definitely. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen
No,
it.
100%.
I've seen
It
it.
affects the human body, but it doesn't change your biology. It doesn't change the fact that your chromosome will always be what it is, right? No matter how many hormones you take in, I'm gonna be XY. I think men are
Yeah,
XY,
Yeah, your
right?
XY.
that
And then
chisel.
women are XX, right? I could pump fucking 4 years worth of estrogen in my system. I'll probably get bigger tits and fucking ass or whatever, but I'm still gonna be a guy at the end of the
You
day.
still gonna
I
have
mean,
that
Like
yeah,
when
jaw.
they
biologically,
when
you
I
won't be
die
able
and
to.
they
You
dig
won't be
up
able
my
to.
corpse,
Yo, you
You won't
still
be able
gonna
to
have them
identify
identify.
me.
calves. You still gonna have them feet. You
Exactly.
still gonna
You're
have
still gonna
them
have
jaw crazy.
biceps. Like
You won't be able to
Your
you can't have
shoulders.
children. You won't be able to
yeah.
like you won't have a period because that's another thing. Like only thing that annoys me about that because like I said I'm totally ally, but it's like who the fuck wants to fight about periods? I don't even like having my fucking period. So it's just like you want it, you can have it. You know,
that's
it's
another
like
stupid thing too. Like
who the hell who
there,
I don't even like menstruating. It gets in the fucking wet. You feel me?
yeah.
But like, you know, it's one of those things too where you just choose to kind of like bow out. It's like, you know what? I don't want to offend nobody. I'm just gonna bow
Until
out.
what point? Like where do we? How long do we vow out until it gets? All right, this is the line.
I think you have a good point in of like the sports. Like that's where it's like, okay, now it's getting convoluted. Because
In the
now
club.
it's like that's not fair. And by if you now this is why I say they should do studies that if you are on hormones for a long time, do you complete as equally as a cis woman or as
Mm.
a cis man?
I actually got some
So,
research opened up right now that has
Oh,
to do with
mm,
what y'all guys just said.
yeah.
It comes from the website known as Med Page Today. It's a
mm,
legit website, and I'm gonna read this article. This part right here. As a competitive transgender woman runner and a PhD researcher of a transgender athletic performance, I would like to advocate for a third or middle way, a way that acknowledges that each side in the debate has some valid points, but that neither side has a monopoly on truth. Let's start with biology. It is true that there are important biological differences between trans women and cis women. Unless trans women go on puberty blockers by Tanner stage 2, they will experience male type puberty, and this experience will result in trans women having stronger muscles and bones, greater stature, and higher hemoglobin than cis women.
mm.
Gender affirming hormone
Okay,
therapy.
wait, stop, hold that. Hemoglobin. You guys know what that is, right?
Nah.
Hemoglobin?
So hemoglobin has to do with your blood. It's your oxygen level. So when your
Hmm.
hemoglobin is, you are going to be able to retain a lot more oxygen than a cis woman. A
which
transgender
which
man
men naturally can
can
already do.
can naturally. So even when you look at your blood labs, your hemoglobin usually is, I believe, for a man is 15 to 17. I believe it's 15 to 17, and I believe for a woman it's like 12 to 14. So biologically, men can hold more oxygen than women can in their blood. Okay, keep going.
Hmm.
I just want to say
I
that.
like that. That's having somebody educated like that
Yeah,
in the
that's what
show
I said. Yeah,
is
I
awesome.
just so because you said him, I'm like, let me let so they understand. Yeah,
I love it. I love it. What else? Gender. Okay, where I left off. Okay,
hemoglobin.
gender affirming hormone therapy, also known as GHT, will mitigate but not eliminate many of these advantages. Trans women will acquire female typical levels of hemoglobin with just a few months of GHT, which has important implications for endurance sports. Personally, I was running 12% slower after 9 months of GHT, approximately the difference between serious male and female distance runners. Trans women will be powering their larger bodies with reduced muscle mass and aerobic capacity, which can lead to disadvantages in recovery, quickness, and endurance. Trans women have a propensity to gain weight with GHC, which also is disadvantages in most sports. The many social and psychological challenges affecting all trans people will also negatively affect sports performance. At this point, it is unclear how the various advantages and disadvantages play out in different sports. And that's where I'm gonna stop for now.
Mm.
So it goes back to your thing of biological.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah.
basically, basically the article in my personal summary is saying that like there's not enough research,
Data.
there's not enough data,
Yeah.
yeah, to back up either side of the argument. But
Mm.
there's certain things that is like that is undeniable, like
I
that.
mean, they were trying to play. They were. I'm gonna be honest with you in that article. What I heard in that article is biologically. That's I'm just being objective, and what I objectively heard in that article is, although there are disadvantages, if you are biologically a man first, or yeah, a man first, that you're going to biologically have an advantage
Always.
off the
Eh,
hemoglobin
eh,
alone. You
always.
will. So yes, you'll put on weight. That's fine, but men are heavier than women usually,
Hmm.
right? I mean, when we're talking about sports, men are used. That's why there's a male division and there's a woman division, right? So, I hear from that article that although there isn't enough information, it's still telling you there are certain advantages because you're biologically born this way. That's
Yeah.
what I hear.
Yes,
I'm
It,
not
basically
saying
it's
yes.
anybody's
it's
right or wrong. I'm just seeing what I
mhm.
objectively summarized when
I
I read
love
this
that.
article.
My a cousin of well, a person wrote.
You
Yeah,
exposing
but
everybody, bro.
Yeah, a person wrote, it's like boxing, like the advantage is right
Keep it
there.
out.
Like it's like imagine that you used to be, you went from a man to a woman, right? But you
Yeah.
still got the strength of a woman. It's like, as an example, it's like, not trying to be funny or anything, but let's say Mike Tyson decided to go and become a woman. You know how
Yeah.
much power Mike Tyson had in those
Well, you would
fists?
die.
You will die. It's like, no, even if he cuts his penis off, like
Yeah.
he's still gonna have that natural bone structure, the natural muscle mass that like it's still gonna be higher than women that were born like a woman.
Well, off
So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
piggybacking off that article you said, the later you start, the more advantage biologically you will have over somebody. So you would have to start GHT therapy. I believe they said like at a younger age in
yeah,
order to be
Yeah.
where a regular cis woman would be at 22.
yeah,
That's
hmm
the
So
only way I see it being equal. If
so that's why
if
I
a
was like,
boy
I need to
starts
know
before
more about it.
puberty,
so that
You
yeah.
means
know,
that like the person will have to start GHT therapy like a H2, H3, or maybe H5, that as early as possible.
as early as possible. I would say like 10, because then by the
Yeah, I
time
was just
you hit,
before puberty. But that's my
yeah,
problem. It's like,
or before puberty, like so before eight,
that's
eight
not
because
right.
you
yeah,
start going through
because
puberty
once
around
male
8.
puberty kicks in, I mean, all the advantages come with that, right?
Yeah.
Muscle mass, the way we build that, hemoglobin, our oxygen intake is way better, our bone density is higher naturally. All that stuff, once puberty kicks in, it just kind of escalates and just keeps going from there. So you would have to naturally, as a man, do it before puberty, to be on even keel with a woman, right? For it to be completely even. But that that brings in the deeper conversation and the deeper point that I was talking about last time. Like, I don't believe kids should be doing it at all. I think
Too young. I think
if
that's
it
too young.
if I have to wait till 21 years old to consume alcohol legally, how the fuck are you gonna tell me I can cut my penis off whenever the hell I please before then?
That's what Donald Trump is trying to stop all that
Yeah,
That
shit.
is so backwards to me.
I
How like
never
I
liked
can make
Donald Trump.
this life changing biological fucking surgery. I can do this before I can legally drink an ounce of alcohol.
Which also alters your mind.
Yeah, but not to the same degree. Not to the same degree at
No,
all.
no. I'm agreeing. Like it alters.
Yeah, yeah, it
I'm saying
definitely does.
alters your perception. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I can't see my daughter coming to me 8 years old and saying I want to be a boy, and I'm like, yeah, let's go through the whole thing. I'm not doing that.
I think the kids are where we stop it. And what pisses me off more about anything is the trans, and it's hard to talk about it without encompassing everybody, right? Because I know it's not everyone in the community. I've
Yeah.
worked with trans people. I've had conversations with trans people. I know trans people. I have no issue with trans people, but there's a large portion of the community, and the media is to blame too, that's
Yeah.
pushing it on children. There's marches and parades in New York where they're saying openly, we're coming after your children. There's kid drag
Or
shows, 13-year-olds, 12-year-olds doing drag shows and being drag queens. That's fucking ridiculous. At 12, I was playing with toys and playing tag, and now 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds today are stripping in front of grown men and women and getting cheered for it, and they're
Oh my
being
god!
pushed
Did you
to
see that
do
pole dancing
surgeries that
thing
are
for the kids?
crazy.
You
Bro,
see, I was like,
it's
okay, this is too
everywhere.
much. This is too much. It's
It's
just the over.
everywhere.
But you also have to understand, we live in a very please don't shun me, guys. We live in a very pedophilic world.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Okay,
Mhm.
you
people
said
don't just talk
pedophilic
about
world?
it. A pedophilic.
Sexualized. I would say sexualized.
And what's sad about our society, and I'm pretty sure other societies just don't talk about it as much. A lot of our children are prey for people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So the I feel like the underlying idea under it is like trust is getting these children to trust you and then pulling some shit later on. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Now I'm not
that's
saying
exactly
everyone
what it
is
is.
bad.
I
I think
believe.
that there's straight people, there's gay people, there's trans people, there's all types of people that are a part of this pedophilic agenda.
Yeah.
But I think this is a way to kind of like
Sal-
Salud.
get more trust in children. What'd you say?
No,
No, we
just
said bless you.
yeah,
Oh yes,
yeah.
sorry. Bless you. Sorry, I didn't
I
notice
try
you.
to be as low key as possible with it too.
Eh, hey guys, give me a second before we continue with this conversation. Todo el mundo que estén activados aquí con nosotros, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Por favor, compartan el video. Estamos hablando de la, no sé cómo se dice en español, transgender. Ya se me olvidó.
How many viewers we got, bro?
Well, so far we've been fluctuating between 7 and 12. That would be the regular.
Yo,
So
whoever's
that's
in here, share the
uh,
video, like the video, spread the fucking
Share.
word.
We talking.
Yeah.
We
um.
talking.
So before like we continue, disclaimer: this episode is not us talking bad in regards to the transgender community or anybody the LGBTQ community. We just having a forum, an open discussion on regards to transgender women in female sports. That's what the conversation is about. We're not being biased. We just putting out our personal opinions and facts because we also bringing out facts from respectable sources. So before we continue, real quick, this episode is brought to you by the next event on Jimmy. Honduras meets
Promo.
Jamaica and Belize Volume 3.
Yes,
So we got my
sir.
boy DJ Joshua 45, DJ Gooby, DJ Mr. B, DJ Dro, DJ Silva, Shaggy Fowl from Austin, Texas.
Yes,
Yo, we're gonna have
sir.
my girl Lay Babes TV hosting. And if y'all know how she is, she's outspoken, she's a go-getter, she's spicy, she's funny, and she's gonna be on the mic that night talking and doing her shit. Also, we got my
Okay.
bro Kino, the motherfucking G. Yes, my bro Kino G,
Kino.
ready to get back in the action. He's gonna bring that vibe, that NYC vibe, that rude boy
Yes.
vibe as well. You know, so he knows how to do them moves. He knows how to get that girls to wind up.
And I'm also gonna be on the mic, Liddy, with my girl Lay. You know what I'm saying? Because we here to stay. GME all day. Let's go.
Remember
That's right.
to get your sections, you need to get a bottle. I know the flyer says free sections, but I meant to put free sections with a purchase of a bottle. So I put reserve a bottle. So I didn't put it together. So that was on me. So I'm gonna rectify that. But you gotta reserve a bottle to get a section. So if you get a bottle,
Yeah.
the section comes with it. Boom.
Yes, sir.
All
Yes,
right, get a
sir.
bottle, y'all.
Thank you,
Get
everybody.
a bottle.
All right, now back to the episode. Okay, so we
Yeah.
left off at the part where like there's like an agenda, right? Like there was a parade and
Yeah, I feel like it's pedophilic.
yeah.
I feel like like look at all this stuff coming out about freaking child trafficking.
Yes. I was just about to say that.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And this is separate from whatever transgender sports agenda. I'm just saying in general, like our kids are, you know, I don't know why I feel like the society wants us to kind of soften the reins on our children so they become easier for predators to get.
They're
Yeah.
attacking
That makes sense.
everything. Men, women, and children. We're all being attacked.
Yeah.
Men are being
Yeah.
feminized, women are being masculinized, whatever, and kids are
Yeah.
being preyed upon. They're being sexualized
Yep.
Oh,
more than
definitely.
Let's talk
ever.
about all those, like for example, all those kids that unfortunately crossed the border, got separated from their parents, and nobody even knows where like half of those kids are at.
Hmm.
What happened to those kids? Where they at? Oh,
That's
let's not
where
even talk about organ donors, organ trafficking.
I was just about to say, I'm like, it's probably organs. That's what I was gonna say.
Organs and
that's
sex
Organ
trafficking.
yeah.
stealing.
You exactly. I was gonna say the sex trafficking or human trafficking. Like
Yeah.
there was a movie. There was a movie. Yo,
Sound of freedom. Sound of freedom.
It
yes,
was good. I can't watch it. I'm curious
yes.
because
Yo,
That
I
shit
was
was
just
back here,
about.
bro. I was ready to
yo,
say it too.
conspiracy. Yo, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do believe some shit is real. Um, that movie came out. Let me show you. That movie was already dated to come out before Barbie.
Hmm.
But Barbie came out on the same weekend as that movie. It eclipsed that movie completely. Barbie was one
Yep.
of the highest grossing movies this year. The Barbie
Hmm.
and Oppenheimer. So that
Yep. Yep.
movie that we talking about, like Sounds of Freedom, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Came out literally in between those two, like around the same exact time. So
Yeah, I remember that because they were doing funny shit in the movie theaters. People were trying to go see it. They were
And
doing
my
funny
friend
shit like, "Oh, we're not
experienced
working."
it. My friend experienced it. He went to go see it in
Oh
AMC theaters
wow.
in New Jersey. He said they kept messing with the lights and they put the
Wow.
AC on blast, like the heat on blast. So they were
Oh
sweating, bro, the whole movie. There's
wow.
reports of the movie not playing, them playing the radio over the movie's audio.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
they were refunding
See?
people. So if you bought a ticket to go see the movie, right, you paid for Saturday, 10 o'clock. AMC, by the time you got there, had already refunded you, gave you your money back,
Yep.
and said, "Oh, we're not showing this movie tonight. There's an issue with the AC." And that
Wow.
happened
Yep.
countrywide, not just like little
Yeah.
bullshit
Because it was
events.
independent, right?
yeah,
It was a
it was
low budget independent movie. Yeah.
yes, and it was, but
Okay.
it was very impactful. Like I only managed to see like maybe 10 minutes so far, and it's mainly trailers because they had to do that. Normally, movies don't really release that long of a trailer, but the reason
Hmm.
they did that is because they wanted people to come in and see it because they knew that the higher powers were gonna try
Yeah.
to like eclipse it, and they did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
They kind of did. They end up doing, But when you see those 10 minutes, it's very powerful, bro. When I say powerful, it's like fucking insane. Like
It was documentary.
no, it was
Based
a
on a real story.
it's a real story. It was a boy from Honduras too. It was like
Oh wow.
insane. Like it was a little boy
Yeah.
from Honduras, and they were like, y'all gotta see that movie. Um,
Hmm.
but going back to like how it ties to this conversation. Oh man, here we go.
Um,
Oh, what's up, Ginny?
oh.
Thank you for tuning in. Hello to you. I just saw it now. Thank you. Share the video, Ginny. Compartí el video, por favor. Gracias por estar con nosotros, todas las personas que están aquí con nosotros. Thank you, thank you. But yeah, going back to the how it ties into what we were talking about, it's like the organ, all of that, like what Shakino said, like the kids that came through the
Hmm.
border, all of that comes with that. That's the
Yeah.
movie. Literally, is linked to that, and that's why they try to eclipse it because a lot of these people in the border probably like be selling the kids Oh yeah,
Yep.
actually, it did happen in real life. Like it came out where like there was like a facility in Arizona or something that there was kids that mysteriously would be missing from the logbook. Yeah, they
Right.
wouldn't be there, but they
Yeah,
were
Right.
there. So
Right.
it is real. Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah.
go missing.
Oh yes,
I'm gonna
it
go
is.
missing.
100% real.
Yes.
I
I
hope
Yes.
think
not.
it's real. That's why I pray, because I will lose it. I will lose it. Like I will lose it. You know,
Right.
like right here. She's gonna be right here.
Yeah.
She's a hot house flower already. So
Yeah, it's crazy. Like it's crazy how there's a lot of like tie-ins like that. Like, uh, I don't want to drift off too much of topic, but like
yeah,
it's crazy how a lot of those things like it's crazy how they try to like release some type of information on top of another information, so like the one that's more important doesn't shine. Like
Yeah,
of
like like
course.
like with
That's
that
that's
thing with
media control.
yes,
That's America.
like that
Yeah,
Weinstein, not Weinstein, Epstein, right?
Epstein.
Uh-huh.
Epstein.
Epstein.
Jeffrey
Yeah.
Epstein.
When his shit came out, that's when like what happened around that time. Something happened around the time that his things was being released.
Wasn't it Kobe died? I think Kobe died.
Um,
Something. They always
so,
distract with some big ass
get something,
headline.
yeah,
Always.
something huge.
Even this past month, the list was supposed to be
It came out
exposed.
already.
It never got exposed.
It
Yeah,
came out,
but there's a
right?
lot of names not on it.
But where
With
is
some
it?
There's a lot of
people's
names that aren't
names.
on it
It ain't all over the
because they paid.
news.
I'm pretty sure they paid a really good price to not be on that list.
Yeah.
Money talks. I'm sorry, but money
Oh
talks
yeah,
in
hell
America.
yeah. Money talks. Like all of us here in this conversation right now. We, like God forbid, right? Toco madera. All
I
Yeah.
of
don't
us
got no
Oh,
here,
one
yeah.
here, but
we could go
that's what I was
miss.
gonna do.
They could make us disappear, and
Yeah.
they could make it easy, so easy, because
Mhm.
we regular people, we regular
I
hardworking.
ain't making it easy. Let a motherfucker run up on me.
Yo, pull up on me. I ain't gonna show the chopper, but it's right here.
Facts.
Yeah, run up on me if you want to. I got a hatchet right in the closet.
Oh
Fuck with me
man.
if you want to.
Raphael.
Honestly, like Texas. I'm not a politician, or I'm not into
Yeah.
politics. But in
Mm.
Texas, we have a governor. His name is Greg Abbott. Greg Abbott.
A
He's
boy.
very He's very. How can I explain it? Like he really kind of doesn't give a fuck. Uh,
Right.
and like what he did, like with the army, sending the army, the National Guard to the
Yeah.
border to help, the border and all of that. A lot of people were not with it, and I understand why, but I also understand the need of it. Like it's
Right.
getting out of hand between
Yeah.
Texas and Arizona and New Mexico. It's getting
Yeah.
out of fucking hand.
And
Let's not even talk about Florida.
right.
It's like it's just
Yeah.
it, things are getting so badly out of hand, bro, that like even the contemplation of Texas gaining its independence is a real talk now.
Yeah.
So it's like
That's
about
crazy.
illegals coming over,
Huh?
Yeah.
like illegals coming over.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
Yeah,
what y'all President Joe Biden is letting happen.
exactly. That's what Greg Abbott.
So how do you feel about it? I mean, being that, how do you feel about it?
Personally, I'm not, like I said, I'm not into politics. I try not to dive into it because I feel like
Yeah.
I'm about to.
every political group has an agenda behind the agenda. Like
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I agree.
like I'm not gonna
Power
say
at the end of the
yeah.
day.
That's really what it comes down to. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a choose a side. I'm a Republican. Or I'm a Democrat. Nah, I just don't care about politics. I just care about people trying to be good human beings. That's what it should be about. Like
Mm.
people just doing the best that they can to help each other out, not like try to gain some type of profit. But like me personally, his policies are very strong, straightforward to the point. He's like a lower level Donald Trump.
So he doesn't want illegals coming
Not at
over.
all.
Come in the right
But do
way.
it.
Like try to get your green
But
card. Try to get your
but
working visa. Try to get your tourist visa. You know
But
what I'm saying?
it costs. It costs.
you say that, but there's millions and millions of illegals being let into this country every single day. They're even being shipped off to specific states. Chicago right now has a super influx of illegal
New York.
immigrants. New York
See,
being sent there
that's
on
what
purpose by
that's why I
politicians.
didn't agree with the governor though. The governor of Texas is the one that kind of did that. I don't know why, but I don't.
Well, because then it oversaturates you guys. It oversaturates the state,
Yeah.
and they don't have. Listen, nobody wants to do public assistance. They don't want to give us nothing. So do you think they're going to want to give it to illegals? Now, listen, I feel like illegals come here. Now, if you're bringing people from Ukraine over here, what's wrong with brown people coming over here or black people?
My
That's what I
problem
was
is,
about to say. Go ahead,
Mm.
Rafael.
Well, my problem is, so my belief is they're doing this, and this is all political. It's always political. How do I gain the most power, right? The
Yeah.
people here in this country right now are anti who more than anybody. Who are they against the most? Let's
Yeah.
just say,
Black and brown.
say
Black and
no,
brown people.
no, orange, right? Who's orange that the media dislikes? Who's
Oh,
orange
Donald
Donald
Trump.
Trump.
that the world just hates, right?
Yeah. Donald
And not specifically him, but his message, right? Like his whole message was make America great again, right? If we have most of the country on that side, and now they're feeling like, okay, it's with Joe Biden, it's swaying a little more back towards the other way,
Mm,
right? People are losing faith
yeah.
in Joe Biden. I never voted for him. I openly voted for Trump. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Oh, you
But
Me
did?
too.
oh yeah,
Give me a razor
proudly, if
Me
mentality.
I
too.
I would have wore a
Yeah.
MAGA hat if I could have. But
Yeah. Shoot, where my head at? Yo,
we're seeing,
No, no,
he took
guys.
us
Because
yes,
out
you
of
guys are black and
wars.
brown. He
He
doesn't even
took us
like
out
us.
of wars.
he likes us
He
more than Joe Biden.
he prevented people from coming
That's
in like Joe Biden's doing right now, letting a lot. Oh, thumbs up. Letting a lot of people look. We have like sleeper cells coming in. We have terrorists coming in. We have
left and right.
illegal immigrants that we don't like. Like they said, they were like locked up in jail, rapists, drug people coming in. That was not
But not
happening when
all of
Donald Trump was
them. I mean,
president.
think about some of our family. Some of our family that we know people came over not the right way.
Exactly.
They came over here, mojado, and like, they're being good citizens. They just want a
Yes,
chance.
yeah,
I mean, I don't know why they
there
want to
is
come to
good
this
people.
broken
Don't get
ass
me
place,
wrong, but like
but
There's good
these
people.
people, like why are Chinese people coming through like the border out of nowhere, like, and they
and we
quite
got niggas
young.
here that
They're
they was here
pretty
all their life
young.
and they ain't doing shit. We got
They
niggas that was born here. Their
these are
ancestors was
these are war
was
ready people. They like fighting age.
I mean,
Hmm.
well, at least illegals come here and they will do the jobs that us fucking bougie ass people won't
yeah.
do. I
Yes,
mean,
See,
but
I'm being
and
honest. We
that's
but
got
that's
another
because they're
issue.
here. But that's because they're here, right? If they were not here, we are obligated to do those jobs. If they were not here,
but they
we would get good paying wages for those jobs. The reason they do the
let me tell
jobs
you right
or they
now,
get selected,
LabCorp.
they get paid
Let me
less
give you
to do the same shit.
let me give you an example. LabCorp, where they do labs at, is
Okay,
having a hard time staffing. Okay,
why?
you know why? Because us regular Americans don't want to do that shit.
Yeah, that's
No
true.
more.
So are there a bunch
If
of
they ask,
illegal immigrants working at LabCorp?
no, there isn't. But I'm saying if they got my
That's my
chick and be like,
point.
hey, you want to do this lab work? She's
Look,
like, okay.
Most people
See,
want to
look at the
work.
bigger
Most people
picture.
want a good
This is
job.
another way of modern day slavery. Think about it. Land all these. Yes, we don't want to do the work. So guess what? We're gonna have these people that are gonna do it for less.
yeah,
That's
cheap
goddamn
labor.
Oh, bro,
slavery,
it's capitalism at its finest, right? Why am
It
I gonna
is.
pay this motherfucker $20 to do half a good a job when I could pay him $5 and he'll do a way better job? That's all it
Now
is.
I'm gonna go on the other side of that. I get a little annoyed that sometimes I gotta pay for insurance. I can't even get because of I saw my friends too because of the tax brackets. We can't even get we can't get no state insurance. We
Hmm.
have to get commercialized insurance. Whereas I think they passed a bill in California that they're gonna insure all illegal immigrants.
Now, why is that? This was my point. This was going back to my original point. You're
And I'm
letting
not a
them
conservative.
in droves, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, they're gonna allow them. They're gonna give them, and I could already see this. Call it right now. What time is it? 9:23. Fucking what's today's date? January 16th.
Mhm.
Oh shit, am I still here?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was.
yeah.
What? Yeah, what happened? Like he was.
He
Yeah,
clicked it by mistake.
yeah,
Like, exit
he's
off.
gonna come back. He's gonna come back. Uh,
That was funny. He was like, "Wait, am I still here?" They,
he's gonna come back.
I'm very intrigued by you guys' point of view because I don't think I meet enough like black and brown people that have that view of like illegal immigrants.
Yeah, honestly, me personally, I'm more in the middle. Like I understand where the problem
Yeah, I'm in
comes
the middle. Too.
when you just let everybody come in and like it's like a party. I'm looking at it like a as a promoter, right? I throw a party
Yeah.
and I
My
give
bad, bro. Technical difficulties.
yeah, no problem, bro. So it's like I have a party and I let just anybody walk in, no security. Like I could be letting good people in, yes, that just want to turn up, but at the same time, I could be potentially be letting in threats, people that just want to come and fuck shit up and fight
Yeah.
and ruin things for everybody. So like I see it in that aspect where like there's gotta be a guidelines and regulations. I feel like you cannot just let people, yeah, because like you said, we have family
Yeah.
members that like are like probably immigrants or they came
Yeah.
illegally, but they are great people. I understand that, but we also know a lot of shitty ass niggas that just come here, go to parties and fuck things up, or go to Walmart, act like a
Yeah.
fool. So there's like it's like a double edged sword. But me,
Well, you know, the crime rate is something that America makes a lot of money off of.
yeah,
So
the
if they're bringing
prisons,
people in as well, this is
exactly.
also bodies to fit in the prison.
Prison system is like they also do cheap labor there. Like they a lot of people
Hmm.
don't know that like a lot of companies. A lot of them
Hmm.
backed off now because the light was shining on them, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
but there
yeah.
was a lot of companies that were part of the prison system that will pay the prison system for them to basically get people in and they get cheap labor. So they will pay the cheap labor by like what
Yeah.
like 5-10 cents an hour.
Hmm.
So come on, like so it's all
Yes.
part of a business. But
Yeah, it's all part of the system.
if I'm being real, I'm not gonna sit here and act like, yeah, I don't want other people to come and try to make it. I'm not gonna lie because yes, my family, like my brothers and I, we're like basically like third generation Americans because both our parents were born here. And then our grandparents, they came legally. My grandfather was a merchant marine, so he gained his
Mhm.
citizenship.
Oh, so is my grandfather.
Yeah, most Garifunas were merchant marines back then,
My grandfather was
and
too.
that's how they
Hmm.
gained their citizenship the right way. So like
Yeah, my mom was born here too, but her parents came over legally. My grandfather came first, and then my grandmother came.
So you see, so there's a story behind everybody. So there's a lot of hypocrites out there that maybe they like first generation Americans or maybe second generation Americans and be like, nah. For instance, let me give you an example. I hate when people say this. Or I'm from here, but my parents is from Honduras. Or I'm from here,
Yeah.
but my parents from Mexico. Nigga, you still a Mexican. At the end of the
Mhm.
day, if you look at your blood, you Mexican. Like that,
I
Yeah.
be
like
saying
a lot of
Mexican.
people in Texas say that all the time. I'm not Mexican. I'm Texan.
I know.
I get it. I get what you mean by that. But yo, let's look like two decades or 2 generations behind. Who you come from? Mexicans.
Well, they're assimilating. That's assimilation, and that's what America wants you to do. They want you to
Yeah,
assimilate. They want you to become part of the pack.
they
And
want you to discriminate your own people.
yeah, they want you to kind of to forget. You know, it's in social studies. You know,
Yeah,
it's called adaptation. It's called assimilation.
yeah.
And what they are hoping is that you snap that. They're hoping that you they're hoping that you fall in line with the American agenda and policies and the Pledge of Allegiance. Like that's what they want.
Yeah.
They want you to be sheeple.
But why
They
come
want
here if
sheeple.
you're not?
They don't want
I feel I
huh?
Why come here if that's not the goal? So,
It's a melting pot. I don't want to be like everybody else. I
well,
want
you
to be
don't
like
have
me,
to
what I come
be,
from.
right? I'm saying you can come here and still be where you're from and still love your country, your new country, right? Like if I move to Africa or any other country, my goal is to assimilate and hopefully produce for wherever I live, right? I don't want to just move
Yeah.
somewhere and then be like, nah, but fuck this place. I'm really from there and not providing any kind of value to the country. America, at the end of the day, is the best country on the earth, and
yes it is.
it's easily explained by how many fucking millions and millions and millions of people want to come in here illegally. I
Uh-huh.
can't just walk into Canada and be like, yo, I'm Canadian now. I live here. They will fucking deport me and bring me back to where I live.
That's
It's
true.
illegal everywhere. You can't just go to Mexico and live a life in Mexico
No, you're
unregistered,
right.
and at the end of the day, it's a crime. Whether you're a good person or a bad person trying to cross the border, it's a crime regardless, right? I understand people want better life and better living. So this is my belief is
But that's why I get confused. Better life where? Because we over here,
compared to where they are.
I have a career, and it's like we, us that are Americans and are here, we still find our struggles. We still have struggles. So
Yeah,
when I
but
see that they come over here, I'm like, you wanna,
but
if it's hard
struggles
for
are
us,
everywhere regardless. Nowhere on this earth is struggle free. But if
yeah,
you pick this versus fucking Mexico where cartel is running rampant and they basically run the government, I choose America 9,000 times out of a 9,000.
okay,
I would never want to
Okay.
live
yeah,
in a
Yep.
place like that. Ecuador right now,
Mm-hmm.
Ecuador has the cartel literally running through the streets. They run
Yeah,
shit.
bro. Even news
So people,
channels. That's crazy.
bro, they literally walked in the fucking the news broadcast
Yeah, bro.
office and started shooting people.
And,
Yeah.
That
and
never happens in America.
Like
Never.
5 days ago.
but like guys, with that, honestly, with that being said though, like let's be honest, like okay. I agree with Rafael because I'm 100% American. I support the United States of
Right.
America. I
I
serve
like
this
that flag
country.
in the back, bro.
Exactly. I rock with my army guys. I rock with my army guys all day. You know what I'm saying? And my Navy people and my Air Force
I'm
people.
embarrassed to be an American.
Right.
Honestly,
Really?
they
Where
like
would you rather live?
I would rather live in the tropics by the water, on my little casita, have my little food that I go
Why
to the
can't you
market
live
and
there
buy,
right now?
because everything is here. I mean, eventually that's my plan. After 50, I would love to do
yeah.
that. But like everything is here. My career is here. My accolades are here. My home is here. My child is here. My family is here.
America
Like
sounds pretty good though. You
honestly, I
sound like you
see.
got a stable house. You're able to take care of your family.
Yes, I am a minority within the majority though, because our people, a lot of our people are struggling.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
blessed.
a lot of people
I'm blessed
struggle.
to
A
have
lot of white
foresight.
people struggle.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, a lot of white people, but they're
Everyone be
white. There's a
struggling,
difference.
bro. There's no
Like
difference.
White people can struggle, but they still can walk in. You know, I had an ex that told me one time, he's like, I don't give money to white bums. And I was like, oh my God, that's so mean. But then he gave me perspective and was like, a
What was
white
his
bum can go get
perspective?
shaved. A white bum could go clean up, put on a suit, shave, walk into a job and get it like that. My black ass
So can a black man.
goes in and
it,
it's a
it,
struggle. And I sat back. He's like, no white person should be a bum.
So you
And I was
think
like,
that any white
wow, that's a good
homeless
point.
man bum could put on a suit, get a nice cut, go to a job interview, and boom, he got it. If you take a
I'm
black
pretty
man
sure.
and a white man in the same position, they're both homeless,
oh shit.
they at the same shelter, they look the same, got the same cut, and you made them over. You think the white guy's always gonna get ahead of the black guy
I think most of it, yeah.
purely off of skin
Uh,
skin tone?
especially with them getting away with affirmative action, definitely, 100%.
On,
There's no like, it's like me. It's like how I feel about men. I don't feel like men should be like, oh my God, my woman is I'm just, I have nowhere, I have no drive, nothing to do. It's a man's world. What are you fucking talking about?
No.
honestly, like me personally, I feel like this is my thing. Like a white person's like Rafael. I love your point of view because I do. I love it because I stand most of the time. I stand on your side. But this is where it's coming from. This is my point.
Sorry, I
Like
gotta stand alone over here. Then fuck it.
um,
Go ahead, do you
a,
think?
a white person's struggle
And
Mm.
privilege.
it's not the same as a black person struggle in the sense let me explain why, bro. Like okay, um I would say personally from my experiences, I lived in a like when I was in the organization where it helped me become who I am now. It wasn't as easy when I was like basically one out of like 4 or 5 black guys in that all white dominated unit. um
Mhm.
and most of the time like they would like have some certain type of bias expectations of you. If you black, you're supposed to run faster, do more push-ups, be stronger, right? Because that's a nonsensical societal perspective that they have of
Yeah,
us. So sometimes they want to like when you're not that stereotypical black guy, like 6 feet tall, like big body and all that,
yeah,
they be like, oh,
Tyrone.
yeah, like that. So they look at you like, oh, I thought y'all black people are supposed to be stronger, faster. What's going on? So a lot of
Which
times,
is
No,
racist.
yeah, and it's part of the racism ideology. And then a lot of times they won't send you to the board, to the soldier of them on board. Let's say I run 2 miles in 11 minutes, and then my boy over there runs 2 miles in 11 minutes as well. But he's white and I'm black. Most of the time, they will shoot him before me,
Yeah.
and I've seen it
And well,
happen
and think about the privilege though.
you
I
said
think about me
most.
in the workforce.
most of the
Wait.
time.
Most.
You said most, which means you were
Yes.
chosen, right? So there were certain times. It was not all. You didn't say all. You said most. There were certain times where you were favored over this white person. My question is: are there white people doing worse than you guys right now?
To be honest, I
Do
don't
they
know.
exist?
They
I
exist,
don't
but
know
I
any
don't know
white people
nobody
doing worse
personally.
than me
I don't
right
know
now.
nobody personally. I don't know a white person personally that's doing worse than me right now. I don't. I'm not gonna sit here
Okay,
and be like, yes,
but
I
do
do.
you live in like a predominantly poor white area?
No, I do not.
I
No,
mean,
which means you have no perspective on it, right? Like you cannot physically see. And I feel like my opinion is We are. I'm assuming all from. We all from the BX.
Yeah. Well,
I was born there. I'm in Jersey. I'm in the sub. I
You from
grew
the
up mostly
Bronx,
in
Aquino?
New Jersey
yeah,
suburbs.
Kina's from the
Okay.
Bronx too. She's from the Bronx
Most
too.
of us have seen chilled or party and is in the hood, right? Poverty. We all dealing with the same struggles. Do you ever see white people in that area? When you seen your people with struggles, are there ever a white community around there? No.
In the
Most
Bronx?
likely,
I mean, I've
no.
seen random white bums, but no, not
But
Yeah,
really.
right. Very small percentage, right? There is a whole plethora of white people struggling in this country. There's predominantly more white people on welfare. There's
Definitely.
predominantly more
Yeah,
white
the
people on
majority.
Medicare. Exactly. So
Hmm.
to say that they are dealing with less struggle for me is just not an idea that I ever. When I was younger, I used to rock with that. I used to believe it full through. Right? Oh, I'm Hispanic. I'm never gonna be going anywhere because of the color of my skin. Why though? Because I was taught this shit in school, not at home. In school, every time I went to school, we learned in history. Fucking first topic they teach you slavery. First topic they teach you is American slavery, but they don't actually tell you the truth, right? How when I was younger, my idea of slavery was a bunch of white men from America went across to Africa and just started taking people, stealing people. Not the
Yeah.
reality. The reality is African people sold African
Hmm.
people to
True.
white people, right?
True.
So
Yep.
I think it's just the story that we're told when we're young, so we believe it. But the
Well,
the,
I
the
think
reality
my
is,
perspective.
I think we're
Yeah.
more even, and we have a lot of similar struggles. I think we're more alike than we are different, to be honest.
Well, I think that's good because then for you, I think that's a good perspective in the sense of like there's no ceilings, right? You're never gonna
Can't hold
block
me
yourself
down.
from any opportunities because of you don't see any ceilings, which is
Mm-mm.
good. I think that's really good. But I think my reality is that white people have a privilege that we just do not have as black and brown people.
What's that
Even it goes
privilege?
from the court systems, from court system to jail system to workplace. I think about the workplace about I had to work 10 times harder than my counterparts. Now I graduated top of my class, but I still had to work 10 times
Woo!
harder
Whoever.
than
So,
my counterparts because because they are conditioned. White teachers, white people are conditioned to be like, well, she's going through it. It's okay. It's all right. Whereas if I come with the same thing, it's not going to be, oh, you're lazy. It's not the same. It's not the same. I don't get the same privilege. So I have to bust my ass 10 times harder than my white counterpart. Or just even in the workplace, I worked in a hospital for years.
Mm.
I would sit back and watch some of my white colleagues. They didn't work smart. They didn't work harder. They worked smarter. That's where I got the formula from. They work smarter,
hmm
not
yeah,
harder.
I agree.
And they're
Yeah,
and
and that's
they
life.
are given they are given a grace that us as black and brown people are not given.
I don't believe that.
We have to take that grace and show them
No,
Honest,
that I
I
deserve
don't
the
believe
same
that.
respect.
I think things are more right now. Things are more even than they've ever been. Right?
but yeah, now,
Ever.
Rafael,
Yeah.
I don't mean to cut you off, but let me give you an example, right? Let me give you an example
Go
of
ahead.
real life. Like we not on that's not because we color people, black people, whatever you want to call us.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about that at this point. It's about real, like, for instance, let me give an example. Growing up, we used to watch a lot of like Canal 5, well, that's a channel from there, Canal 5, Univision, Telemundo, and all of that.
Yeah.
I never saw a black actor or actress portrayed until this day portrayed in Univision or Telemundo as a successful black person. Most of the time,
Mm.
the
It
black
was a
people were
maid
maids, they were fucking slaves, or they were
or
like,
an
until this day. And it's
It's
like,
conditioning.
it's one of those things
Mm.
where
it
like
is
Yeah.
it's not it's
propaganda.
portrayed on media because it actually also happens in real life too. It's like
Yeah.
there's a lot of movies that come from a real life perspective. There's a lot of movies like not every director or producer just wake up one morning and be like, oh, I have an idea about this slave movie or I have an idea about this robot movie. No, they go based on either some facts or some
Yeah. In reality.
rumors and they make a movie about it. So
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, like when it comes to like our reality, like for instance, like you said, I don't put a ceiling on me. Like I didn't get drafted to go to the army. I joined because I wanted to. So like
Mm-hmm.
Right, right.
right there, I made that choice. So I had the opportunity to make a difference in my life, which I did. So did my brother and my cousin. So like we don't have an excuse That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is
Yeah.
there's always favoritism. There's always
Yeah.
somebody that's going to be
Yeah.
chosen before you most of
Yeah.
the time because of the skin
Yeah.
color. And I live
And
it.
And it could be covert. Like as a black woman, when I walk into some of my clients, when I go to some of my clients, they're asking me where the fuck I graduated from. Are you asking Mary Beth where the fuck she graduated from? The
Mhm.
fuck is you asking? I got a degree. Do you know how to do nursing? No. Okay, then I know something more than you. The fuck is you asking me that for? So that's little covert, that's little underhanded ways of like racism that you don't.
Yeah.
It's very light.
Mm.
It's I forgot, there's a whole word for it, but it's very light where they're like, oh, where did you graduate from? The fuck is you asking me that?
And I
My
hate when
question is with that though, like, how do you
Passive aggressive.
can you prove that like 100% that was a racial thing?
Yeah, because all the white people do it. Black people and Spanish people don't ask me that. White people
No,
ask me that.
and
And I've been a nurse for about
my
5 to
own
6
personal
years, like 5,
experience.
6 years. White people have always asked me that question. Where did you graduate?
I have seen the most racism in my whole entire life come from only two types of people: black and brown, Hispanic. I have had encounters with white people, I mean,
It's
so many
prejudice.
times.
Hold on. It's prejudice though, because black and brown are not oppressors. White people are oppressors, so it's prejudice.
No,
Bro, it's
guys,
I don't
Look
share
up,
that
no,
belief.
don't
I don't share
look
that
up the
belief.
Webster meaning. Look, nope. I gotta be
What's the
really
meaning?
technical.
What's the meaning
Look
of
up the meaning.
oppressor?
they thought you were white, bro. That's why, bro.
A racist.
Oh, they did. Yeah,
You can
nah, I'm Puerto Rican as fuck,
only
bro.
only
you look
white
like
people
a
can be
white
oppressors. Only white people can be racist. Any other
No,
any
you believe that?
groups are usually any other group. Look it up in Webster Dictionary. Any other groups are, or if they're other groups, that's prejudices that work off of
I
stereotypes.
think that a
Now,
single black person on this earth can be racist.
no,
Not a
no,
single
okay,
one.
cannot be
all
racist.
right, guys, break,
You cannot be.
pause. There's
Yes,
some
yes.
We
comments,
coming back to this shit,
guys,
bro.
we are, but there's some comments that's gonna add to this. That's why I say pause.
Okay,
All right,
okay.
this actually sparked the conversation. Now we creating conversation with people. There's a lot of comments. I think you guys
Yeah.
probably hit. We got ruffled some feathers, but in a good way. Here we go.
It's all right.
Here we go.
Wish we could see his comments.
I wish I could see the
Microaggression.
comment.
Yeah,
Yes, microaggression.
I wish y'all could see it. Juwan wrote, oh sorry, bro. Anyways, it's there. They could see your name. Fuck it. If we walk anywhere being black, we're not the first in line for anything. You go to Dominican Republic, they look at you crazy. You go to England, best of luck. You go to Spain, look at the way they treat soccer players in Spain. And then Kevin wrote, racism is systematic. People of color are only celebrated for success. Fuck. And then another one. There's another comment. Oh, this one goes hard.
I wish I could.
I don't think I'm gonna read it. I'm not gonna read this one.
Read
Read
it.
it.
Yeah, this is
Read
gonna
it.
start. This is gonna start.
We
This is gonna start.
We got tough skin.
Okay. Are your grand ancestors, were they ever slaves? I think I know who they're talking to.
What? He's Puerto Rican. His lineage.
Well,
You're
my
Puerto Rican,
mom
right?
is darker than all three of them.
Oh shit.
But listen. But you're Puerto Rican, right?
I'm Puerto Rican. Yeah.
Ancestors were slaves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
most
And
most
that's
of the
the
time.
thing.
Yeah.
Every fucking race on earth, like people think about this. Every race on this earth, white, black, Hispanic, Japanese, Korean, whatever, we have all been enslaved at one point in history.
True.
We cannot just focus on American history in this little fucking small vacuum of a bubble. Every race, everything, everyone has been enslaved at one point. But unfortunately, there's only one group that still complains about it, and because it's so recent, right?
Who is
In
what?
American history, black, obviously. Come on, that's the only group that complains about slavery. But we all been enslaved. Hispanics been enslaved. Everyone been enslaved. There's still, if y'all really cared about slavery, and I'm not talking about you guys, I'm saying if people really
Yeah.
give a shit about slavery, they will go over to Africa right now and stop it because it's literally happening right now as we speak. There are
That's true.
people enslaved
Those
right now.
Africans are getting bribed to sell their own people, bro. 'Cause they
And
got
that's what I'm
money.
saying. This is happening right now. But we focus on America, where you can't even see it. It doesn't even exist. Legally, it's
I
gone.
can't say that as a black woman. I'm
Black-
saying, okay. So let me say it like this: growing up, I grew up in a
Can I
very
ask you a question before you continue?
yeah.
Name 10 successful people. 10.
Like that I know.
Anybody. 10 successful people in America.
Bill Gates,
Okay.
um, um, Beyonce,
I
um,
Okay.
love that. I love that. I love that.
um, oh my God, this is so hard. Bill Gates, Beyonce,
Jay
Elon
Z,
Musk,
Elon
Jay
Musk,
Z, um,
Kanye West,
okay, Kanye West,
Donald Trump.
Donald
Donald.
Trump.
Not my turn. Julia Roberts, Leonardo DiCaprio, Quentin Tarantino,
Oprah.
hmm
Oprah.
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 Wesley Snipes.
What? He had tax evasion. So I don't know
My
about that.
son didn't even pay his taxes, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Fantasia because she's having a good run right now.
Okay.
Takashi 69.
So on that point, right? Most of the people that you named were of
Are
color,
women.
and most of the people that you named that were of color are fucking billionaires. So it's like we're complaining about us having this huge handicap where most of the most influential people in this country are people who look like us.
But you know why? That's to sell the idea that we can have this American dream. It's all
It's not an
propaganda.
idea, it's a fact. There's people who come from the
No,
same
Raph,
neighborhoods
I
that we
can't agree
come
with you.
from
It's all
that
propaganda. It's all
literally
part of
have
it.
built. Jay-Z lived like a block away from where I used to live in fucking Brooklyn. And now the
Yeah,
motherfucker is a billionaire. He was
yeah,
in the
but
projects, probably spouting the same shit, probably
yeah.
thinking that he would never make it. And now he's up there with one of the most successful women in the whole music industry.
But
And the
you think
dude
they're
is
just
super influential.
but you think they're just gonna be letting us in like that? No, there's
What
gatekeepers.
you
It doesn't
mean?
happen that
Yeah,
easily.
honestly, I agree with
It doesn't
one.
happen easy. Success is not easy. I mean,
No, it's
no
not.
one's success is easy. You think Elon Musk easily succeeded at his company? No, that shit
Well,
was hard.
he was also born into money.
Doesn't
Like
matter.
honestly,
That
let
doesn't
me
matter. It's
okay,
still
like
hard.
we all went to high school in the Bronx, right? We all went to high
Yeah.
school, and
And we're
we all
not
have
homeless bums.
yeah,
No.
and we all have friends of all different. I had white friends in high school. I had Chinese,
I didn't have a single
or
one of that.
Korean. I think I had he was Korean. Um, Latino, Jamaicans, Africans, and all of that, right?
Hmm
There was a time. Like, I'm not trying to switch the topic, but it has a point. There was
Yeah.
a time.
Topic has been switched like 4 times, bro. We were talking about transgenders
Yeah,
before.
that's true. That's
Good
true. That's true.
conversation.
Yeah. There was a time that being African wasn't cool, or being black of color wasn't cool. Like unless you were like a basketball player or a football player or maybe baseball, it wasn't cool. Like now fast forward. That was when I was in high school, in middle school. Fast forward
Mhm.
now, like Afro beats is popular. You got
I
white people doing
know.
Afro beats dances. Like most of the sports are taken over by people of color now. Like if you look at basketball in the 60s and 70s, there were black people about maybe like 50.
Yeah.
Like now,
Yeah.
the NBA is like 80% black.
And baseball. Think about baseball. The Dominicans coming over there. It's very brown. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
look
so
who owns these teams, though.
exactly the people that own this team are Arabic people, like
White
Asian
people.
people, like Indians and white.
Yeah.
Those are the most powerful entities. But like for a black person to come be like, yeah, I own the team completely by myself, I don't think there's one.
Gatekeepers.
Yeah,
Gatekeepers.
yeah. There's always gonna be a Muslim person behind them.
But there
Always.
can
Like,
be.
Oh, there can be. I would.
but
I
there
will say
can be
that.
And there
hits. You're right.
probably will be, right? We're
There will
so
Will
we're
be.
be. There
so
will be.
early in like our history. Like America's not really that old
Yeah, you're
of a
right.
country, right? Like we're
You're
only
definitely
what
right.
a couple 100 years old. So this is like still a developing nation. And I think that yeah, like there will be fucking black billionaires owning teams and this, that, and the third. But to my thing, my biggest issue
We all
is
gotta
just
start
telling
somewhere.
people that there is a ceiling.
Yeah.
I don't believe there's a ceiling because people of my color or people of where I'm from have shown us that there isn't. That's why
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't do. I
believe in
don't
it.
move with ceilings. I don't do ceilings. Like whatever I want to do, I'm gonna embark on.
Yeah,
And but not everybody is like us four on the screen.
and
True.
that's
You
the
know.
problem. They should
And
be.
I agree with
They
you in the
they just
sense
have
of
to
like
believe.
yeah, I do agree with you sense like okay, it's one thing to be oppressed, but do you have to live like you're oppressed? You understand?
Yeah,
We know
like you
that
can't
there's
be
an
stuck
oppressor, but you
in
don't
the
have to
past.
stay stuck. And that's why I do get annoyed with people who are born here, because I hear you guys with the illegals, but I get annoyed with people who are actually born here and they don't have a pot to fucking piss in. And I'm not talking
Mhm.
about white. I'm talking about as a collective.
Yeah, yeah,
There's so much money to be had out here. Why don't you have something going for yourself?
Fact, I agree with that. I agree with 100%. And Rafael, there's a question for you.
yeah,
Have you ever had an experience where you felt racism towards you?
yeah.
Not, it's not for me.
A
It's a
hundred
question.
percent. Yeah, 100%. Multiple times. Never from a white person. Never. Never in my whole entire life have I experienced racism from a white person. There's been times where I may have confused or and this is what I mean. Like I feel like we're brought up, right? Told like, ah, white people don't like you, white people don't care about you. So the second you have an interaction with a white person and it may not go the way you think it's supposed to go, you automatically link that to all that must have been racist because I'm Hispanic, they're white, they must not like me.
No, I agree
But
with you.
as I mature, I'm just like, nah, I was being a dumbass. They reacted accordingly, and I didn't like it. That's all it was.
Or
But
or
true racism, I've
sometimes people just
experienced that shit from Hispanics and black people, and I
and
don't give a shit.
sometimes
I don't generalize everyone.
Hey man, you
sometimes
gotta
white
move
people
out of
sometimes I can even
Connecticut.
get confused, but sometimes people are just assholes. It has nothing
I
to do with their
love
color.
white people, bro. No, chill.
Sometimes people are just assholes. It has nothing to do with their color. Like for instance, I had a
Hmm.
client not too long ago where I thought he was being I'm gonna go for what Ryan said. He was being kind of condescending. And I'm
Hmm.
like, is he being condescending to me because I'm a black nurse, and I'm getting tripped up a little bit on his pump. But
Yeah,
then a couple of days later, another nurse went and she actually dropped the patient and they asked me, can I take the patient back because he liked me? And at that moment I realized, I said, you know what? He's just a facetious, like, he's just
yeah,
asshole. It has nothing to do with color. He's just an asshole. And he's going through sickness, so he's mean. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
But what if that nurse wasn't Caucasian, I would have assumed, okay, he's just racist against us black nurses. No, she was a white woman, and she was like, I don't like the way he speaks. I don't want him as a client. I thought
yeah,
he had a problem with me because I was a black woman and he didn't trust my nursing. No, he's just an a-hole. That's it.
yeah.
And Kevin, Kevin, with what you said, I like what you said, Kevin. I like what you said. Let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this, bro. You're a banker, and I know you've been doing it for years. So, bro, let
Get
me
your money,
ask you.
bro.
Not trying to like put you in hot water or anything like that. You don't
I know
have
he
to.
see. I know he sees a lot of shit.
I don't. You don't have to give no specific details, bro. But like as a banker, like I know you see a lot of large numbers. What's the majority? Is it like, do you see a lot of like like minority bank accounts that's high compared to like the white bank accounts? Like, because I know you've been doing this for at least like what, like 6 7 years now. So like, aha, thank you. All right, thank you for being honest. He's like, okay,
What he say?
like white. He said white. He's like,
But
Yeah,
but
okay,
of course.
but Kevin's also a gatekeeper in the sense of somebody's looking for a loan and they're black. That's a gatekeeper. We have
yes,
somebody in the room. You understand? So I do understand what Raph is saying as well.
yeah.
We have to put people in these positions where we can get our place. We can succeed in these endeavors that we want. And somebody like Kevin, who's a banker, is somebody that can get us in the room.
Yes,
Mhm.
exactly. But even Kevin, now that
Mhm.
he's like a Kevin is a gatekeeper now himself because of the
Yeah.
position that he's in now in the bank. I'm not gonna
Right.
say your bank, bro, but he's in one of those prestigious banks. Okay, even he has a gatekeeper. There's somebody
Yeah.
above Kevin. Kevin basically, okay, I could get you through the door. But then when he's walking the person through the door, there's another door that, okay, bro, this is where I leave you at. I cannot take you any
Yeah.
further.
Yeah. I
So like
agree.
there's always obstacles, but it's up to you, like we already established, if you're gonna let that obstacle stop you, right?
Now, my thing
So
is with the gatekeeper thing, right? Who's to stop us from being in that position over Kevin? Why can't we
educate
be in that position?
edu-
Rothschild.
educate
Rothschild.
education too.
Nah,
Rockefeller.
scrap.
Also,
JP Morgan.
yeah, yeah, also education, because my bro Kevin is very educated man. That nigga's fucking smart. Him and Sean were
Yeah.
one of the smartest kids in my graduating year. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
surprised that Kevin is where he's at, honestly. He always had brains. He's funny as fuck, but he
Yeah.
also smart as hell. So
Aries. That's why.
so like honestly, some things, sometimes the right opportunity, the right people, and the right place could also dictate in a way, because you could always be a go-getter. You could be a go-getter. You could do everything right. But if somebody down the line doesn't fuck with you, you ain't going nowhere. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it be like that, bro. Like you could be like you could show up to work on time. You could fill up all your logs on time before you go to work. You do everything perfect. There's one person. Oh, I don't like how Shakino smiles. I don't like how Rafael looks. He's taller than me, so fuck him. You know.
True.
So
I've
like
seen it.
there's people like that, and that's not making excuses, bro. That's really life. Life
No,
literally
it's
gives you.
prejudice. It's
Yeah.
prejudice for sure. Like there, people have their own biases, right? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
if, like I always hated the, oh, I go to an interview with my hair looking a certain way and they didn't hire
No.
me. Well, of course, you look
Of course.
unprofessional as fuck, right?
I
Like even me, if I fucking went to an interview looking like this, don't
pajama
hire me.
pants, pajama pants. Kids, people are wearing pajama. People are wearing sweatpants to interviews. When did that happen? When?
Some people are just not, they're not eligible for the position, and when
No.
they get denied, they blame it on something else. I don't think racism is that big of an issue, but I do believe that education is a big factor, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of these poor neighborhoods, they have low standards of education, and it's mostly filled with people that look like you and me. I
True.
think that's the issue. I don't think it's really much, because if a white dude was in our fucking, grew up in our neighborhood and went to the same school, he would have the same education issue. They just
That's true.
don't live around us. That's the only thing. And the
But
reason that is because their parents made better decisions or weren't born in certain situations
okay.
where they could,
I mean,
potentially
I will
set up
say
their kids
my parents
better.
were part. My parents, as a black one, my parents were a part of that. I mean, I was in the Bronx. I was deep down in the Bronx, and my
Yeah.
parents had foresight and said, "Well, we want to move them to the suburbs." I grew up with a lot of black. I grew up with a lot of black and brown, Indian, white people in my town that were. The first mansion I went to was black people, and I was like, "Wow, black people live like this." I couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I've been fortunate to be able to rub elbows. A lot of people that went to my high school are very successful people, like white, black, Spanish, purple. It don't matter. They're all. Most of them are doing really big
Yo.
things, or doing great things, or in great places. You know.
there's
So,
there's another comment. Uh,
Comments.
I have seen an article where a black guy, he went to cash this large check and they questioned it and did not believe
Yeah.
that it was his. So they called the police. So do you think
Yeah.
if a white person went into the bank with a large
no,
amount of money, would the banker behave the same way?
no,
Yeah.
he wouldn't.
100%. 100%. You know why
No.
I believe so? There's
What?
no
No.
context to that story. There's no context to the story, right? What did he look like? How did he come to the bank? Was
It
he
was the guy
sagging
who
his?
did Black Panther.
Wait,
It
wait,
was the
wait, wait,
director,
wait.
Ryan Coogler. Coogler.
Saying,
Right.
Oh
I'm just
yeah,
saying.
him. Yeah, that's what. Yes, I remember now. Yes, that
Okay,
situation where
but what
when he
I'm
was.
saying is, there's context, right? Like, if you give that same check to a white person that doesn't look like they should be banking or depositing that amount of money, you as a person who works in the bank, right? I think they're trained to spot certain things, right? Who may be using counterfeit money, this, that, and the third. If a white person that didn't look like they were able to deposit that amount of money comes into the bank, they probably do the same thing.
But Ryan
Bro,
Coogler
most
didn't
of
look
the
like a
time they
bum.
dress like
Yeah,
that. Like,
He didn't look
Ryan
like a
Coogler.
bum. He looked like a prestigious black man.
Yes, he
He
did.
wasn't a
Yeah, but I
nobody,
don't
but
do
he
you.
also wasn't dressed. He
But
wasn't
that's what I'm
dressed all the
saying.
way
Do we
down.
know what he looked like that day?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
There
Do
was
we know
yeah,
his demeanor that day?
Yeah, he had all black on. He had black slacks on, a black shirt. He came in with his regular, just a regular, like just like if you were going to Whole Foods. He wasn't in
Mm.
sweatpants. He wasn't iced out. He was very, very demure, very toned down. And he got
Mm.
to that bank in Atlanta, I believe, which is predominantly black.
yeah,
And they said you cannot cash that check here. But
yeah.
if it was Quentin Tarantino or whoever it was, or let's just say
So
a
who
actor,
was the person working at the bank? If it's
it was just some
predominantly
regular
black,
white person. It was a regular white person, and they
okay,
called the cops on him. That wouldn't happen if it
that's a
was a white man.
situation that
Yeah,
favors that, of course. But
but
I don't. I
that wouldn't
think
happen if
that's
that was a white
that's what
person. That would have not happened at all. There would
I
be no
think.
I mean,
So
question.
you're telling me that no white person in the history of America has ever been or had the cops called on them because they're depositing an abnormal amount of money.
I
I
mean,
think that's definitely happened.
probably because they look like Frank from Shameless. You ever seen Shameless?
No, but I'm saying
Frank looked like a
that's
bum ass white man, so
that's a
maybe they look
point.
like him. But Ryan Coogler didn't look like that. It was
But I'm
already
saying that's
he was already guilty.
one situation right there. I'm
Kevin,
saying like we
Kev,
cannot generalize all white people
I see why you're
in the same.
successful. but I can't walk around like that as a black woman. I see why
I just don't believe it. That's why. It may be right. People may have been treating me with racism, and I'm just too naive to
but
notice.
that's
But
what I'm
I
saying.
just don't
That's
think it
good. In a way,
benefits
it's
us
good.
even like realizing or acknowledging it. Like that's
Because I'm
just
gonna
the
be
way
honest
I
with you,
operate. I don't.
I was like you. I was like you for a long time until I got into my 20s and I got into like working in the hospital world with politics. And
I was the
I was like,
opposite.
what's racism? I've never experienced racism. And then I
No.
Yeah,
got
I remember. Yeah, you were like that.
I got into the hospital world and I was like, oh my fucking gosh, I'm experiencing my first bouts of like it was a wake up call to me because I didn't grow up like
It
that.
depends on the
There was no
environment.
feelings until I
Yeah.
went into the real
Yes.
world and I was experiencing
For example, like
microaggressions.
in the military was one of the biggest places where I experienced racism. Who would have ever thought? You know,
Yeah,
Right. See?
yeah,
Yeah, it makes
in the
sense. I mean,
military,
it's predominantly white.
yeah.
or like going down south. You know, it just depends where you like at. Honestly,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
And
think
I
it,
didn't
it
learn for
exists
really
in
myself.
have
certain people
experience racism
for
It,
there.
it,
sure.
it, it exists within ourselves. Like, let me give you an example. Like, for instance, right? This might sound fucked up what I'm about to say,
Mhm.
but like, everybody's in charge of their own destiny. Everybody, whether you're a
Joey
bum
is.
or not, sometimes you cannot always. Like, I do believe that racism is a real thing, hands down. I'm not gonna take that back. I
Yeah,
believe it is,
racism
but
is real. That's a thing. People feel that
but
way for sure.
but there are a lot of people out there that walk around like they love being the victim and they always like to
Yes.
find an
Well, with me.
excuse for being a bum. Like, for instance, my grandfather, my brother and my grandfather, he was literally dirt poor. We're talking about like maybe rice and beans if they could find that. Like, that's how poor our grandfather was. This man rose up to come and buy almost an entire village, and he divided it among his family members. That's how
Yep.
wealthy my grandfather became. And then he left a bunch of
Damn.
shit for us in Honduras that we could easily go back and make something big out of it. But we're not
Yeah.
in that position, or we maybe don't have the same mindset that he had to make it go further than where he left it off at. So, like, I'm not saying that any of us are bums, because a lot of us are doing well, but there's a certain thing where like his 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 time frame and our time frame is very different. Like, his challenges and our challenges is different. What he went through back then when he was growing up, when he was our age, we probably never gonna experience it because it's a different era. Like, my grandfather didn't grow up in the era of technology. He grew up in the era that you gotta wake up at like 3, 4 in the morning every day and go get it. You know,
Yeah.
Yep.
now we could get money from the fucking phone. You could be an influencer and make millions. You could be a YouTuber and make millions. So, like, the opportunities and the circumstances have changed throughout the history, right? But one thing hasn't, and that's being a fucking bum mentally.
Mentally, I agree.
Yeah,
It is
it's
the
true.
truth, you know.
I really, I don't feel. This is gonna sound so fucked up, but I see it every day, right? Like, I know people who were not born here and are successful as fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I can turn to my left or my right, and it's like, oh, I'm waiting for the next check. Oh, I don't know. Oh, this and that, and it's
Yep.
like, if Mighty Soul came here and is doing six figures, the fuck is your excuse when your ancestors was here from 1858? What are you crying about?
Facts,
What are you crying
facts.
about? What are you crying
So
about?
so what does that say?
Your mentality is fucked up.
Damn. I
There you
like this
go.
question right here.
It
It's
ain't a
amazing.
race thing.
It isn't. But I mean,
Some of the
as
most successful people in this country don't come from this country. Some of the
I
most
mean,
successful people in this country
I
come
agree.
from Africa,
Hey,
India,
you
Like
China,
Elon Musk,
all these
he was
other
an
foreign
immigrant.
countries.
Elon Musk is not from this country. Look at him.
no. So I just, but you know what it
It's
is?
values, bro. It's
It's oh,
values.
you
It's
just
not
took the words
race.
out of
It's
my
values.
fucking mouth. You just took the words out of my fucking mouth
I
because
know
my
about.
parents, although they're first generation, they also had that work ethic where like you got to do what
Yeah.
you got to do to get to the top. Like
Yep.
it's not always gonna be sunny. It's gonna be hard work to enjoy
yes,
the end. My dad didn't have. My mom had a degree. My dad didn't, but my dad worked 2, 3 jobs just to catch up with my mother. You feel me? So like that shit is gone. Like that shit is dead. People don't want to work hard,
nope,
and in order to enjoy,
Well,
you're gonna
why
have to
is
work
that though?
hard.
Why is that? Because they're sold, they're fed. Instead of a dream, they're fed a nightmare. That
Yeah,
because you
the
look the way
fear.
you do, doesn't matter how hard you work. You ain't never gonna get there. So why
Yes,
the
I'm
fuck
yeah, read
try?
that question right there
And
about the project.
that's a lot of people's mentality in the hood is like, well, I already look the way I do, so I'm gonna just rock. I don't need to fucking go above and beyond because I'm never gonna go up there. I'm never gonna get there. I'm never gonna make
Well,
it.
I also think
But you have people who look the same way,
we've
making
also
way more
learned
money.
from this conversation. I feel like we've also, as a group here, we know how to move in a room full of snakes. Meaning, okay, we're around oppressors or white people, but people haven't learned. You know,
Yeah,
I've been
the fact
fortunate
you call
to
them that.
come from an area where I could code switch. Code switching is very important. Okay,
Mm.
and what's important is there are gatekeepers, but maybe we need to learn how to be a little bit more cheeky like them. You know, Bob doesn't like Richard, okay? But you know what they got in common? They both want to invest in this one thing. So they're gonna be cheeky together and be faking the motherfucking funk to invest in this property. And that's something that we fuck up at. We don't know how to be cheeky with each other to get to the top. We don't. We don't
We're
know how to
taught
rub
that.
elbows with Billy Bob so we can get that investment. No, he may be prejudiced or racist, but you're not we too focused on him being racist or prejudiced. Let's focus on you getting to getting that property. So you got to be a little cheeky. You got to learn how to code switch. It's all like mechanics and like just learning how to move. Like Kevin is a banker. He knows how to move in a room full of vultures. He knows how to code
Mm.
switch. There's a
Yeah.
whole movie on it.
He
And
said he said we take their IDs. Like if there's any suspicion of fraud, we take their IDs. Like they don't
yeah.
just walk out like, you know. I mean, honestly, like let's how can I
Damn,
explain?
there's some good questions out here, bro. People are writing some good comments though, bro, about the
Really?
project.
I can't see him. How can y'all can see
Throw
him? I
them
can't
out, throw
Wait,
them out. Yeah,
wait,
I can't see shit.
where you
Reading
see it?
some.
Where you see it at, bro? I can't see it.
damn.
For example, somebody said, this is a question for all of y'all. Do you think that the projects are made to push people to get out of the projects and do better?
Nah. Nah.
No,
No,
Nah.
hell
no.
no,
The projects are a fucking cage trap.
hell
Well, you
yeah.
could use it to
Why?
your
Why
It's
advantage.
want to do
supposed to
better?
like help low income people get out, but yeah,
It's
like you
Nah,
said,
you
supposed
it's a
could
to.
use it
trap.
to your
It's
advantage.
supposed
Like
to.
you could
Just
use it
like
to your advantage.
Medicaid, right? Like all that shit is supposed to be like not permanent. You use
Yeah,
it temporarily to level up.
Yeah, but
That's the
they be signing
problem.
it over
No
to their
one wants to
kids and
level
their
up.
kids. They send
That's
it.
what the
The
Democrats wants us
grandmother
to
signs it
think.
over to the mother signs it over to the kid signs it over to the other kids. I've seen. I remember living in a house, an apartment in Jersey in Newark, where his grandmother signed it off to his mother. They moved to like North Carolina, and the mother signed it off to him. The rent was $125. He was struggling. I was paying everybody's bills in that motherfucking house,
125, bro.
bro. $125. It was a 3 bedroom, big ass apartment,
That's what I'm saying, man. People get stuck, and it's designed that way.
and he's not even
yeah,
there no more.
It's not a race thing. I don't think it's race. It's rich and poor, right? If you poor, how do I design you or design this system or this fucking what do you call it? The wheel. How do you stay on this wheel forever and not get out the cage and improve?
The
I'm gonna
rapid,
incentivize you to stay in a low income fucking
Yeah.
apartment.
So you're not gonna work
You're
that
gonna
much.
get on all this public assistance,
You're not gonna
right?
work
So
that much.
you're not gonna exactly you're not gonna feel the need
I
to
agree.
improve your life because you
Yep.
got shit handed to you. This
Yep.
is why
yep,
you're stuck in this situation. This is why your fucking family is still poor. Why your kids will be poor because you'll raise them to do the same shit. It's a
yep.
mental thing. If
I
you
can't
stay
say I
stuck in the trap,
disagree.
you stay
Can't say
stuck
I
in the trap.
disagree.
I don't think
Eh,
it's a race thing, which is why
yeah.
y'all all are not sitting in the projects fucking dealing with that bullshit.
that's a
It
fact.
doesn't. It
I
doesn't apply.
mean,
I don't believe in the race thing at all, bro. Because y'all three. We got three examples right here.
we wasn't raised. We also wasn't raised like that. We wasn't
Yeah.
raised. We wasn't raised, and we
Exactly.
wasn't raised like that. And even if then, we also come from parents who were like, we saw them doing better, so in turn, you want to do better than your parents.
Yeah.
Yep.
When
Like
your parents are lazy bums, you a lazy bum. When your
But it's
parents
cultural. I
are
also believe it's
fucking working
now.
hard, and that's how it works.
I know. I'm a little prejudiced. I
and,
know I am. I know.
guys, let me ask you this, guys. Like, what do you think
Mm.
about the example of some people trying to compare, like the let's say the transgender struggle or the LGBTQ struggle in comparison to like the black or minority struggle? Like, there's something that Dave Chappelle said in one of his stand-up comedies. I think that
Yeah.
came out last year. He said like there's some black people that like might be part of the LGBTQ that like they are gay when it's convenient, but like
Yeah,
they're not really black when it's community. There's some
they're
people
doubling
that's
down.
bingo. They pick and choose when they want to be part of
Yeah.
something. And when he
Oh, my
said
life
that,
is hard. I got denied this thing. It's because I'm black and I'm gay.
and,
Oh, eh,
and when he
that's
said that, like
ridiculous to me.
some people, I've actually heard people be like, oh, like we've been targeted and this and that, or people be racist against us because of our gender or our sex, what we like,
Yeah,
our sex preference. Do you believe it's on the same boat as like the minority, like black or brown, struggle of racism or slavery? Do you think it's like the same level of like, oh, we're trying to fight for our rights? Yes, like y'all fought for your rights with Martin Luther King. Do you
Well,
think it's the same thing?
I don't think I'm gonna say it like this: a gay white man is gonna be way more successful than a gay black man. Okay, that's one. Um, that's one.
uh,
Two. I find that gay men. I'm gonna speak about gay men. I feel like gay men are technically more accepted in the workforce than
trans.
more than we think. You know,
Well, you
I
said
don't.
you think gay men are accepted in the workforce more than who, or just in
More
general? You mean?
just in general, I think that they're
Oh,
more accepted
yeah. I
and
don't
that
think
they're
being gay is a problem anymore. I think
and
that's
being gay isn't the problem. I think gay is a different struggle from transgender, and then gay and transgender LGBTQIA. I won't necessarily say it's, what is, both groups are oppressed. That's what I'm gonna say. I
Yeah,
would say both groups are oppressed, but I don't know if any one fight is bigger than the other. I don't know. I really don't know. I
I
don't know.
believe one fight is bigger than the other. I'm not talking about the race one either. I'm you just we were talking about gay and trans,
I got
right? Like
no
those two. I think trans, their
problem.
struggle is way bigger, and it's only because from my point of view, and not even my point of view, just by science wise,
Yeah.
it's a mental health condition. At the end of the day, I know we have people and we know people, and I've worked with people and I talk to people. It's a mental health condition. Gender dysphoria is a real thing. If you were born a man and you feel like you're a woman, that is a mental health issue. If I am sitting here and I'm telling you guys, I'm hearing voices, I don't want you to affirm the voices that I'm hearing and tell me that, yeah, those are real voices. You're okay, Raph. You can live your life like that. That should be handled the same way transgenderism should be handled. Mental health. You should go see a therapist. You should go talk to a mental health professional and figure it out. Because, like I said, people who change, I don't give a shit, bro. You might get canceled. You might never see me here again.
My mouth
But
is on. I'm like,
if you, as a
this
child, a boy, and you convince yourself that you are actually a female, chop it off, and then 20 years later, oh man, I regret it. Well, that's not your fault. That's the people in your life that affirm that bullshit.
but that's a very
When
small
my
percentage.
son,
I just want to say that that's a
no,
very
no,
small
there's
percentage.
the highest suicide rate in America right now is transgender people.
But
The
that's not because of the sex changes, Rock. I'm gonna give you education on that.
but I'm not saying that.
It's because their
Why is
living
that?
conditions. They're on the street. They're poor. They're trying to find their way. They do a lot of
What brought
sex
them
work.
there? What brought them there?
Not being able to be accepted into regular rooms, especially through transitioning. When you go
No,
to transition,
being accepted, being accepted. People
yeah.
telling them
I
that
mean,
yes, it's okay to feel the way. If my son comes to me tomorrow and says, "Dad, I'm Superman. I'm gonna jump off the roof with a cape because now I can fly." My job as a parent is to tell him, "Sit your fucking ass down. You are not Superman. You cannot fly, and you will potentially die if you jump off the roof." It should be handled the same way. If my son comes to me and says, "Dad, I am a woman. I am a girl. I am not a boy," go take a time out, go upstairs, take a break. We're going to talk about it. What you think right now is not the truth. Kids don't even know what the hell they want to eat. They want to eat dino nuggets or fucking McDonald's
well,
fries.
kids are different.
But
Kids
now
are
we're
off limits for
entrusting them
that.
to, but
The
16 year
trans people
olds,
I know did it
17
in
year olds,
the trans
18
people
year
I
olds,
know did it in their
That
twenties.
haven't even had sex yet
They were in
like
their 20s.
as well.
they don't even know
like
what the dick does, bro. They don't even understand how their penis works or how their vagina works.
But
And you're going to
so
tell me you're going to confide in a kid
also
or a young adult?
I
I
have a
don't
question, guys. Like
listen.
honestly,
Wait, before you go, for anyone misunderstanding, I do not hate any of these groups. I'm just speaking truthfully because I actually care about them. I don't want them to hurt themselves. I don't want them to commit suicide like a lot of the fucking community does. I care about these people. So I'm not going to lie to them. I'm going to tell them the truth because that's what Jesus Christ told me to do. Amen. Go ahead.
I also want to say that, although we're talking
My nigga.
LGBTQIA,
Mhm.
the gay community, it doesn't really always get along with transgender people as well. I want to make that
Yeah.
very clear, that there's also exclusion within the minority group, to
Mhm.
the point where it's like, well, why do gay men or gay women act that way towards transgender people? And that's when we have to like also educate. Everybody's not the same. Everybody doesn't think the same. Just because it's an umbrella group of LGBTQIA doesn't
Yeah.
mean everybody understands one another. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Um, I just, because I'm, like I said, I'm very
I'm not
much,
generalizing, by the way. I'm not saying the whole group. I want to make
no,
that clear.
I just want to educate other people who are watching this, that just because like yes, it's an umbrella term, but there's still a lot of division within those groups, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
There'll
Um,
always be.
Also, a lot of transgender people that I know, they did it in their 20s. They didn't do it, because they came from parents, black and brown parents like us, and they was like, what the fuck? No. So
Mhm.
I think kids are definitely off limit, but I don't think it's gender what would you say? Gender euphoria?
Gender dysphoria.
Yeah, gender dysphoria. I don't believe that, because the people I know, I don't even remember.
It's science.
I can't even picture them being what they were before they did this thing.
So I have
So,
another question that I
but do
wanted to
you know
ask.
if they're truly internally happy with themselves? You would never
Oh
know.
yes.
At the end of the day, no.
Oh yes.
What I'm
And
saying
they're
is,
and they're and they're gorgeous, and they
I'm sure they
yeah.
look fine. I'm sure they'll probably
No,
fucking
I know. I'm
confuse
just
me
saying,
if I see them.
but they're at
But
they're at peace, and they're successful as fuck. Successful as
yeah,
fuck. I know niggas who are regular cis men, and they are not successful. Okay, they still fucking figuring it out. So listen, get it how you fit in.
So
that's
let me
fine.
ask
It
before
is
you
how you
guys
fit it.
continue, before you guys go back and
Exactly
forth.
what's going on.
This is my question,
Quote of the
Rafael.
day.
Like I kind of see where your mind is at now. Now I'm starting to understand it better because, like, I think I had told that to I don't know who I was talking to. If it was Shaq or if it was my cousin. But I never had a conversation with you prior to this show. I know of you, I've seen you and all of that, but we never had a conversation. And I know
Me?
you've been in my brother's life for like at least 12, 15 years around there.
Yeah, hot minute.
So
Yep, yep.
so
I'm a
like
very controversial figure on
Yeah,
the
it's good to
internet,
hear. It's good to
apparently.
hear an object. It's good to hear opposite. This is good though, because to hear
I love it.
opposite
Yeah.
opinions,
Yeah.
right, and be respectful of it,
Yeah.
right?
Bingo.
Mhm.
Because I don't, whether people are offended by what I'm about to say. I think it's a uniqueness, and I'm intrigued by his point of view,
Yeah.
because he's firm in it, so I respect it.
And he's not the type that like he stands solid on his argument.
That's what I'm saying.
Just like we all do, but he doesn't try to get out of character, try to be a
No,
nigga.
I
Because
respect it 100%.
No.
that's what I have a problem with. Like once I feel like okay, this person's trying to be like the alpha, trying to be like a nigga, that's when I
Yeah,
step in, and
No.
that's when I start showing my side too. Because at this point,
Mm.
it's no longer a debate or it's no longer a conversation amongst adults.
It's
It's a
disrespect.
conversation. It's a one-sided conversation with a
yeah,
bully. So
yeah.
I
Yeah.
hate that shit. So that's why I
Yeah.
respect you, Rafael, because I love the way you think. A lot of people love the way you think. A lot of people are
Yeah.
like,
A lot of people hate the way I think too,
Yeah.
but that's
Now, and,
accepted.
and,
You
and,
have
and
your
even though
opinion.
I'm an ally and I
yeah,
respect his perspective, I'm an
bingo.
ally. I mean, I
Yeah,
consider myself a trisexual. I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie to you, but I respect his viewpoint. I really do. As
Mm.
a heavy ally, I mean, my best friend is gay. My other really good friend is gay. I mean, I have two gay male friends like that are heavily in my family. Like my brother is gay, so I'm like, I
Wait,
got
what?
trans friends. I'm deep in the
I have
LGBTQIA.
no
I would
issue
like
with
to
gay
hear
people
their
too. This is just
perspective on this whole podcast. Honestly, I would like to hear their perspective
Yeah,
on
I
it.
would
I
like to
don't think
have.
they would talk about. I don't think they
And,
would do that, because
and
they're like
also,
more. They're covert gays. Like I will say, they just want to be gay and in peace. They don't really care about all.
yeah.
I've even asked one of my girlfriends who's lesbian. I asked her and I asked my trans friend, "Well, how do y'all feel about pronouns?" And we don't give a fuck about that shit. We just want to be gay in peace. I just want to be trans in peace. I don't give a fuck about no pronouns. And
Yeah.
them saying that. They're around my age, and they're like, "Man, fuck these pronouns." You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
I would say that's the majority, but the
Speak up, man.
media, builds everything up.
Yeah,
yeah,
Let me ask you, Rafael. Like, let's say, right? Let's
Yeah.
say,
Damn.
and
let's
is
say,
my
Second
mic working?
AirPod died.
let's say your
Next.
kids ask.
Is my mic working?
Yeah, we could hear you. Can you hear us?
All right, good.
I
Can you
gotta
hear
go
us?
soon, guys. I gotta go in like 2 minutes. I gotta do a reading.
Okay, let me ask you, Rafael. Like, do you tell your
Yo,
kids? Do you tell your kids whether Santa Claus is real or not?
Well, my kid, he just turned 3 years old, so he's not really fully aware.
Yeah,
But eventually, that's a tricky one, right? Because you want to be truthful, but you also want to keep that kid nature alive. So yeah, of course you'll tell him that Santa's real. It's entertainment for them, basically, right? It's not reality, and that's what I gotta get clear across with everything that I say. If you're trans and you come to me, right? Let's say you're a trans man, so you were a woman, now you're transitioning to be a man. You want to be called him and sir, I don't care. I'm cool with it. But I cannot admit that that's reality, right? I will respect whatever you got going on.
yeah,
I don't care how many cocks you suck. I don't care how many vaginas you lick. Whatever your thing is, that's your thing, right?
right.
But I cannot warp my reality and my understanding of real life for your personal view and your personal gratification. I will respect what you got. But I, as a man, know that if you were born a man, you will always be a man. If you were born a woman, you will always be a woman. And there's nothing you could change about that. Doesn't matter what you
I
make
think
yourself look like.
yeah, I think it's okay to have those views. I think it gets disrespectful when people are like, "Well, you're a man," and I think it's like, "Well, okay, cool.
Yeah, like those
What
people
they
are
eat don't
fucked
make
up.
you shit. What they eat don't make you shit. So what the fuck do you care?" Like I
Yeah.
remember talking to a grown ass woman who had a niece, and um, she was a stud, which is like a manly gay person, and she was like, "I just don't understand why she got dressed like a boy." I'm like, "Well, what do you care? Are you the one dressing like a boy? Do you like women? No, then what the fuck do you care?"
Yeah.
I agree.
It doesn't
And,
bother me. It doesn't
and
bother me my real day. My only thing is when you start getting into the children and then now you got to
Yeah.
change
That's it's a bit much for me.
everything else. Like what do we
it,
define as men and women, and then it becomes this weird now like us the boxing thing, right? We didn't even touch on it. Like boxing is now making amateur and Olympic level boxing transgender females can now
A
compete
lot of people knock the
against
fuck out. A lot of people going out the
biological
fuck
women,
out and
and that's
concussed.
crazy.
honestly, they should just have like their
I was
own
gonna
league.
say that maybe they should do their own league.
their own section.
They should
That's
do
it.
They
own
should.
league.
Fair, fair
Motherfuckers gonna be dying and flying.
Okay, so like before Kiki goes, cause my girl Kiki gotta go. So last take, Kiki, your last
Yes.
take on transgender women or even men, whatever, into the opposite sport. Your
Like,
final
what do I?
take. Yeah,
What's my take on it?
yeah, your
Um,
final one.
my take is that they should hold off until they have more research on it. I mean, like actually in a gym testing and doing studies to see is can they compete at the same level as a woman, or can they compete at the same level as a man? Can a transgender man compete with a man? Can a transgender woman compete with women? I think that we should definitely hold off on throwing people in it until we actually understand it fully. Because that article told you in itself we don't have enough data. So since we like data, we should definitely hone in on that and then come back to it.
shit, there's some cis women that on the regular they want to fight niggas. So kind of
I
that's their
have.
opportunity. That's their opportunity to get close to fighting a nigga.
I have. Not that close. I
They
did.
know what they signing up for. So
Look at
you know,
you know that's gonna be the picture in the YouTube thing, right? The
Yeah.
you have some good ones. If you go to my channel, all of yours are great.
Oh my God. It's personality. But yeah, I fought niggas and I won. They let me
Yo,
win.
see, you be right to fight a
yeah, like,
transgender person.
I still remember when you slapped the shit out of Sean Lopez.
Oh my God. He slapped me back. But I
Oh,
deserved it. He did. He did. He's the only one that slapped me back. But I ate that shit. Yeah, I forgot I slapped. Damn, I've been fighting niggas since '88. Let me. I'm real. I'm in therapy. I don't fight men anymore.
Yeah, Akina, how much is for your readings, yo?
It's donation based right now. So whatever you feel pulled to give. I literally just launched last week. So I have a reading tonight, and then I think I'm free for the rest of the week. So let me know.
You got a
Okay, so
reading? What's that?
Tarot
so
reading.
Oh,
Tarot.
so
nice. That's lit.
Tarot.
That's cool.
I got a couple books here.
so if y'all want a reading from my girl Kiki with the spirits, yes, hit
Badass
her up.
Tarot.
Like,
Badass Tarot.
Damn,
how,
nigga. Shit going
how can
crazy
they
right now. Just hold it.
how can they contact you?
You can hit me up on IG. Under Badass Tarot. Bad.ass.tarot. If not, you can go to my Instagram. Akina_ she's magical.
And how do you spell tarot for people that are illiterate like me?
TAR. It's so funny. TAROT. Tarot.
Okay.
All
One more
right.
time for the slow people.
I love you too. Okay, bad.ass.tarot. Tarot spelled TAROT. T as in Tom, A as in apple, R as in rabbit, O as in octagon, T as in Tom. I was going fast. All right. This was a great conversation. Raph, I respect your fucking gangster.
I learned a lot today.
Yeah.
Facts. I respect you
I
too.
respect. I love my cousins, and we always have our meeting of the minds conversations. But I respect your fucking gangster, and that takes a lot coming from me. I respect.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Hey, my boy he was fighting the whole internet a couple of years
Bro,
ago about the George
I
Floyd
was on
situation.
Facebook one time, bro, and I put up a post. I'm not even gonna say what it was about. We can leave that for another day.
I just
But
said it, George Floyd.
I put up a
It's
post,
okay.
bro, and like 130 to 140
Wow.
people versus me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
said fuck
Just
it. Me
comment
versus
after
you,
comment.
nigga.
I was like, I'm here
I
for
don't
it.
give
I
a
don't give a
fuck.
fuck. It don't matter to me.
And a lot of people that we thought that they were cool or his friends, they unfollowed him.
Unfollowed me,
You know,
screenshotted my
yo,
shit, talked about me on
I still
Facebook.
bought my boy, bro, because he had facts. He had facts, but a lot of people misunderstood what he was saying, and they were just going based on the whole racial.
You
Also,
gotta
they were
but you also have to have an open mind, and you also have to respect people and their
Yes.
thought process. If that's like I said, what you eat don't make me shit. So what the fuck do I care? Is it paying my motherfucking
That was my
bills?
whole thing. I did say something pretty controversial,
Yeah.
but I do think it was factual. We could
Well,
touch on that some other time, but yeah.
reach out.
it,
Reach
it,
out.
I think there's a lot of like emotional people on the internet too. So
Oh,
sometimes,
definitely.
like I
They
learned that
definitely
like
do.
because I used to be the same way before, and I learned that it kind of fucked up my money a little bit because I used to be extremely outspoken, and I
Yeah.
learned that like not only because you got facts, sometimes you gotta talk about it. Sometimes you can like some people are not mature enough to
No,
handle certain conversations.
they're
Some
not.
people
Yep.
they're just ready to like argue and fight just because they want to, not because you really giving them a reason.
Yeah.
They just looking for anything to like try to fuck with you. So you could be right. You could have all the facts. They don't give a fuck.
Yep.
They just don't like you. It's that
Yep.
simple.
It's true.
Yep.
It's
Like
sometimes it's not the
Democrats,
message, it's the
Republicans.
messenger. That's
Nah,
what it is.
bing. That's how it is in my family,
I'm
but
out.
that's another conversation, baby.
Yep.
That's what Shakito. That's what me and Shakito, the Libra brothers, are kind of like the black sheep.
I know, right?
You guys aren't sheep, that's why. You're not sheep.
Hey, that's a fact, man.
You're not the
We'll
sheep.
see who gonna win. Let's see who win at the end of the road,
There
though.
we
That's
go.
right.
So
Who's going on
Facts.
the chariot? I know I'm going on the chariot. I'm chosen.
There we go.
So
There we
I love you guys.
Love
Have
you
a
too,
good night.
Kiki.
about to suck my
Thank you
dick
so
at the end
much,
of the
Kiki.
day.
Love you.
This was great. Bye.
Yeah, see you next episode. So yeah, guys. So yo, Rafael, thank you so much, man. You were amazing,
Always,
bro.
bro.
This topic definitely had a lot of people talking. We still got some viewers, surprisingly. But
How many? How many we got, bro?
I think so far I thought we had about 100 throughout the whole episode.
Please
Damn.
share the video. Share the video. Show some love. Don't just be pocket watching like a lot of y'all people do. Just go to people's profiles and look around, not even like or follow.
Facts.
Yo, come on, man. That's some weird
Like,
shit to do,
follow,
man.
subscribe, share, bro, so we could
Please
keep
do
talking.
that.
Keep this shit
Yes.
Be
going.
a human being. Be a humble, regular human being and show support, man.
Facts.
Don't just be a weirdo and just go look and not follow. Like, what? Come on. We follow back out here, man. We show love. Stay love up, prayed up, stay blessed.
So everybody that tuned in, muchas gracias. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Share the video. This is my boy Rafael, aka Wreck It Ralph. I have my bro KHINO G. There you go, my Libra
Yes,
bro,
sir.
Navy vet, and myself, the
Bro,
Samsation.
One more time, advertise that party though, because it's gonna be super
Yes.
lit.
Promo.
February 10th, baby.
Where's that
Yes.
at in Texas?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Here we go. Shoot.
Yes. Shakino, you wanna take care of this one? My bad.
Man, Honduras meets Jamaica DJ Fest. Jamaica and Belize, man. Hosted by DJ Joshua, 45, DJ Silver, DJ Mr. B, DJ Dro, DJ Gooby, DJ Shaggy Fowl. Hosted by my girl Lay Babes. And you know your boy KHINO G. That thing is going to be fire, fire, fire. So pull up, man. Show some love. Come have a good time. Leave all that hating ass nigga shit outside because we trying to have a good time and we trying to get home safe. February 10th, we're gonna see y'all there, all right?
Ladies free before 11, and the guys are free before 10. And you gotta reserve. You reserve a section with a purchase of a bottle. So you gotta buy a bottle first. Tienes que comprar la botella primero para reservar tu mesa, tu sección, ¿me entendés? Entonces esta fiesta va a estar prendida, va a estar a otro nivel, vamos a estar en vivo con mi hermano KHINO G, Lay Bass, y ahí vamos a estar activados toda la noche, va a ser otro nivel. Y si tú estás listo para raspar, vení a raspar. You ready to rise some cheeks? Come ready to rise some cheeks, because it's going to be a lot of single niggas, single females in there, single ladies. Yes, everybody pull up. And bro, for the ladies that are curious, are you single?
Damn right I am.
Yeah, there we go. So bro, are you gonna daga?
Shoot, man. I might just a little bit. You know, I'm not really about that time no more. I'd rather do a little tango on the side. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But definitely, I can still do my thing for sure, man. You know, I'm looking for a real wifey that's like on my level, not on that little youngin' shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay. So are you looking for a cougar?
I mean, shoot, man. I don't know. Nah, I want somebody around my age. 29 to 32. I'm 31. What's up?
Okay, so he actually meant 25 to 32.
Damn, bro, you got somebody for me or something? Like, he said 25. I'm over here like.
Everybody, thank you again. Raf, thank you, man. You're awesome.
Always, bro.
Yes, sir.
Everybody tune in for the next episode. Most likely it's going to be probably sometime next week. So see ya then. This was another episode of Let's Talk About It, No Cap, with the Samsation, KHINO G, KEKE with the Spirits, and my boy Rafael.